Like and Biker 69 Sparkler, 7 months with a super duper beautiful goddess of Garbo known as Doxy.
Nice. Hi, guys. I can't poop. It's very sad. I've been having a lot of pooping problems the past couple days, and it's very uncomfortable. I'm sorry that you have to hear about it. I maybe shouldn't make you hear about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, pooping problems aside. We have some really creepy stuff to go over tonight. I have laxatives, but if you use laxatives too much, your body becomes dependent on them and you won't be able to poop at all. Came in on lots of pooping problems. Yeah, I've been having a lot of them. It's no good. It's no good at all. Here, you can look at my face if you want. Hi, I'm a greasy nasty today. I'm so sorry. I'm disgusting. But why did I just come in on laxatives? Because we're talking about my pooping problems. I'm trying to move away from the pooping problems, but you guys just keep bringing it up. But I will tell you all about my pooping problems if you want to hear about them. I can't poop. It sucks. I'm very uncomfortable. Or magnesium drinks. Yeah, I think that really I'm just going to go ham on some fiber. Poop chat reminds me of Mink streams. I've been around for longer than Minx, and I've been all about butt and pooping and stuff the whole time. If anything, Poop Chat should remind you of Doxy streams. I love Minx. I owe a lot to Minx, but my pooping humor does not come from her, okay? This is born and bred into me. I stand corrected. Yeah, you do. No, genuinely, That's why me and Minx get along together so well, is because we're very similar. We're very similar, but also very different. No, I love Minx so much. I'm very happy that I get to be her friend. I'm very happy that her surgery went well, and I'm very happy that like good things are happening for her. I'm really excited for her. I think that now she's gonna be able to really start living. Not that like I'm talking about her like she was like bed bound or something. She wasn't. I'm just excited for her. I think that she's gonna feel great. Wait, what surgery? She had weight loss surgery. She had weight loss surgery because, and now she's losing a huge amount of weight, and she's gonna be at a healthy weight soon. And she's going through a lot of suffering now for it, but I feel like she's going to feel a lot healthier and better later, which makes me happy because she's my friend. And I want her to be healthy and happy and feel good. I don't know whether it was the gastric sleeve or the bypass or I don't know. I don't know. We haven't been talking directly much, and not because we don't like each other. It's just because we're both like that distant kind of friend. You know what I mean? Where like when we're done working, we don't want to be sitting at our computers anymore. We want to go and be with our partner and eat French fries and play through the old South Park games. You know what I mean? Doxy, I got my stuff, spent a few hours yesterday practicing chaining and getting my pressure consistent. Bought some new yarn today because the stuff that came with my kit was shit-tastic. No, I'm so sorry that it was bad. I know I have a stable friend I see infrequently. Almost all of my stable friends, almost all of my like best friends, I could not talk to them for a year. Talk to them and it would be like nothing ever changed. My best friend in this life is named Julie. And we only talk once every few months, but I would die for her. I like without even thinking about it. Like I would for sure I would die for her. Like she's my best friend. Oh, thank you so much, Lycan. That's so nice of you. Once I get better, I might be able to use it, but at my level, it's just an added level of difficulty. That's something that I was going to warn you about, is that like shitty yarn comes untwisted, hey? The threads that are spun to make the yarn, and it can make learning so much harder. It can make learning so much harder. So that's why when people are just like, well, I'm just learning, so I'm just gonna get a cheap, shitty yarn, I'm always like, you should maybe get thread or like cording of some kind. It's very good to see you all. Do you guys follow a lot of YouTube drama? Because I don't. But I found this thing that we're gonna cover today. Hi Silgnav, how are you? It's good to see you. Kept grabbing parts I didn't mean to grab. Yep, it's real easy to do that with shitty yarn. It's really easy. Shit yarn cries in twine, absolutely. Unless Phil DeFranco mentions it. I do love Phil. Philly D. What a good guy. Anyway. So I'm going to link you guys to all the videos that we're going to be watching. I will link you to them in order. Because I'm not going to have access to my keyboard once I put it behind my computer over here. Because there are visual aids, but we're only going to be listening to it so that you can see me crocheting, right? But we're going to look at Emily Artful, levied accusations against Creepshow Art. Her name is Shannon, for stalking her for years. And it's just a super creepy situation. And it turns out that this Shannon person is really, really bad news, as far as I know. I have not dove too deeply into it because I thought that it would make a really good creepy crochet. I think that we will probably be spending more than just tonight covering this topic because there's a lot of stuff, but I found the official videos, okay? I found the official videos from Emily Artful, from Creepshow Art herself addressing these accusations, Emily Artful's response, and then a couple of videos that are from people that were close to the situation, that were friends with this girl, Shannon. I don't know yet, but I might quit my job soon, take a 3-day vacay to the ward. About had enough. Yo, legit, if you're thinking like that, do it. I'm telling you right now, if you're saying things like, I've had enough, I need to go get help, like, if you're genuinely considering this, do it. Quit your job if it is making you suicidal and go get help, please. I care about you. I want the best for you. I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm so happy that you said something to us here where we're not going to judge you. But please, by all means, if this is the way that you feel, do that. Follow up on that feeling. Listen to your brain telling you that you cannot take this anymore. Please take care of yourself. Hi, Sleep Ninja. Hi, Markiwi Walker. Hi, guys. It's good to see you. How are you? Okay, so we're gonna get started here in a second. I'm just gonna screen share with you briefly so that you can see these videos in the order that we're going to watch them. I want you to have these videos going on mute alongside me listening to them. I will be pausing and stuff, so it's gonna be a little bit tough to follow. I'm very sorry. But there's receipts and stuff, evidence. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if maybe they're just linked in the description or anything. Because like I said, I haven't followed up on this too much. But there's the first video. That's video number 1 that we're going to watch. And then this is... Shit. I posted it in the wrong fucking thing. I meant to post it. Sorry, I'm about to repost this on Twitch because I did not post it into YouTube chat, and we do have YouTube viewers today. So this is the first video that we're going to watch. I would like you to watch it alongside this stream on mute so that we can talk about it together just in case there is stuff that you need to look at. I believe that they show in these videos receipts of the like stalking allegations, like of the like sock puppet accounts and stuff that were made in order to harass. Anyway, that's the first video that we're gonna watch. Here is the second video that we're going to watch, which is Shannon's response, Creepshow Art's response that is supposed to like absolve her. And then here's a video by somebody else that is what we're gonna watch third, which is like all these leaks of like the way that she got caught was that I don't know. Oh, fuck. I fucking have not been showing y'all the display capture. I'm so sorry. There. Sorry. This video apparently, okay, the way that Shannon got caught, as far as I'm aware, is she was posting on Kiwi Farms or Lolcow Farms, or I don't go on those sites. I'm not gonna lie. Like, people have linked me stuff about my friends that have been on that site, but I've never been relevant enough to be even mentioned on those sites. As far as I'm aware. Anyway, I don't go looking for it or anything. What stalking allegations? Sorry, I'm a bit late. That's okay, Ozzy. Welcome. And everybody, please Join me in making Ozzy feel welcome. We're talking about the Emily Artful and Creepshow Art situation today. It's something that's been going on for like months, apparently. And I am only just now finding out about it. But I think that it would make a really good creepy crochet for us to just listen to this while I'm crocheting. There's the third video that we're going to watch. And then we have 2 other videos from Emily Artful. And then I imagine we're probably not going to have time to watch all of these tonight. So I imagine we'll probably be doing some of these on Thursday. Let's go ahead and stop the music here. And I will go back to our live scene here and we can set up crochet cam. It was lol cow. I don't go on it, but that's what everyone was saying. Okay, yeah, Sleep Ninja with the assist there. I don't know. I don't know because I don't like I do not find joy in going on those sites. I think that they are harmful to everybody. I think that going on those sites is just bad for your mental health. Like, even if you really enjoy being petty and like gossiping and stuff like that, it is just, it's gonna put you in a hateful mindset in your everyday life. And who fucking needs that, you know? Who needs more reasons to like fucking hate humanity? With fucking anti-vaxxers existing and like, fuck, I don't know. Anyway, shit. This is what we're doing. So the way that she got caught is she was posting on, which one was it? It was lolcow. They're designed to be absolutely foul to anyone and everyone, not my cup of tea. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Lolcow is, and some people love it. And like, I'm not trying to knock you if you love it. If that's your hate porn, if that's what you're into, that's fine. I don't do those things. But she went on and she was anonymously self-posting to try to further her career and try to like steer conversations to be about her. Really sick stuff. And the admins of this site noticed that it was all coming from the same IP. And they were like, what the fuck? This bitch is posting about herself. And they exposed her. It is wildly embarrassing what this person is going through. But also, she's a wildly bad person for having put herself in this situation. Okay. And I don't think that anybody is beyond, I don't think there is a single person that is beyond rehabilitation. But when this person was called out about their shenanigans, they doubled down and told more and more bad lies, apparently. Or maybe they're good lies. People are saying that she's like a master manipulator or something. I don't know. I feel like it's, I don't know. It's not my place. It's not my place to say, but it is our place to come and listen to what this victim of stalking and harassment has to say. And I just really quickly, I want to say that if I find out that any of you interact with anybody that is discussed here tonight about this stream or try to harass them or anything, that's it. It's over. We're done doing stuff like this. And you will be publicly shamed in my chat for being a harasser and an asshole. And you will be blocked with the quickness. Okay. We don't, no matter how bad of a guy somebody is, we do not sink to their level. We do not become harassers. We do not put them through harassment. I don't care how bad a person is. We do not harass them. I am very clear, very, very clear on this. We are not as bad as these people. Okay. Wait, what are we watching? We are watching Emily Artful's allegations of harassment and stalking from Creepshow Art. I will link the first video again right now, but all the other videos, does this mean Hope is done? Oh yeah, we're way past Hope. There's no updates on Hope. We'll probably come back to her once there's more. I follow Ready to Glare and she had experiences with Creepshow, but I won't be mentioning any of this stream to her. No sweat. And listen, if you guys already interact with these people, that doesn't mean you're not welcome here. And I don't want you to think that, but I don't want anybody to be harassed, like no matter who they are. Like, I don't care if we're covering fucking Hitler and Hitler comes back down to earth and makes a Twitter. If you tweet LOL you're ugly at him and you start harassing him, I don't want anything to do with you. I just am not into that. And okay, that's not true. If Hitler came down and made a fucking Twitter and he was tweeting dumb shit, then he kind of is asking for it. But you know what I'm saying? You get the spirit of my shit, okay? We're gonna fucking crochet and listen to this now. Oh, I thought we still got more Hope. I'm sure that there will be updates because Hope is absolutely addicted to attention. And bitch ain't dead as far as I'm aware. So I think that we will absolutely be covering Hope again. We were all caught up at the end of that. Sadly, that is a political thing here in the US now. Jeebus, yeah. Ugh. Creepy crochet is my new fave thing. Yeah, I really love creepy crochet too, and I'm happy that you like it as well. All right. So, J-Rod, quick question for you, bud. Firstly, do you forgive me for not streaming yesterday? I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I could not stop thinking. I was just like, I promised him. I felt so bad. Please forgive me. I know that I don't deserve it, but please forgive me. Super angry, but I'm over it. Okay, I'm glad that you're over it now. I apologize. Would you like me to go over single crochet so that that's something that you can practice? Would you like me to open with that? Because I'm super happy to. If you're not ready yet, then I can go straight into crocheting this dragon egg some more. But if you specifically want a quick tutorial on the single crochet and a turning chain so that you can practice doing single crochets back and forth, very, very happy to do that for you briefly. Only if you want to continue your thing and I'll just keep practicing and stuff. No, I want to know. I want to know under no uncertain terms what you prefer tonight because it's about what you're comfortable with, right? Because you're the one learning. So I mean, like other people in chat are learning too, but you're the one that's vocal about how you're doing this with me. So I am going to take extra special care to what you want. Anyway, here's that video if you guys want to get it queued up. This is your stream now. It is. It is, J-Rod. Continue your egg tonight, please. No sweat. No sweat at all. You keep practicing tension and chains like 100%. I will be with you whenever you're ready, okay? Let me know. I am 100% on your side. All right. Here we go. Are you guys ready? I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Hey, no sweat. No sweat at all. I'm going to go ahead and get the audio going here. Again, I'm not going to be showing this video. So if you want to have it like off to the side with it muted so that you can hear what I'm saying and we can like pause and talk about it together. There might be receipts on the screen. I'm not sure if there are or not because I haven't watched these videos, like I said. And I just want to say right away that you are entitled to your own opinions. And if you don't believe this Emily Artful person, then that's your prerogative. But I'm in the business of listening to victims. I'm not going to say that 100 without a doubt, like I believe that this Creepshow Art person is bad until I've heard everything. But like, I just don't see what this Emily Artful person has to gain by coming forward and like talking out about a YouTuber, I think that was bigger than her. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, let's do this. And I'll get cam set up. I don't have cam set up, so that's why we're just sitting here with a black screen and stuff so far. All right, play.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. If you're not familiar with who
Emily
I
is
am,
out
I've
of
been
control,
making art content here on
beautiful.
YouTube for the past 6 years. For the majority of those 6 years and several years prior, I had been facing stalking, harassment, and threats from one very recognizable source. For many years, I had no idea who this person was. I had speculations, but they were pretty far off. And because of that, I had to endure that abuse. I went to the police. I was turned away. I spoke to an attorney. They told me it's not going to be worth it taking it to court. I even went as far as hiring a private investigator for a short period of time, and he said the same thing. The PI and the attorney advised me that I needed to start taking screenshots of everything that I could and keeping track of what was happening to me. This story is long, so I recommend you watch it at 1.5 speed if you can. It's long because this stalking campaign has lasted the better part of a decade.
Y'all, okay, I'm gonna pause. 3, 2, 1. Do you guys want me to do this in 1.5 speed? I think that it will be too much for me. I don't think that I can do it, actually. I retract the question. I'm so sorry. I think that I have to watch this at normal speed because I don't think that I'll be able to, like, pick up my ADD is too bad for stuff like that, I think. So if this isn't your cup of tea, I definitely understand if any of you are trying to hightail it. But yeah, sorry. I shouldn't have even asked. I just figured I would. Sorry. Rhino Dude Guy, welcome. Everybody make sure that Rhino Dude Guy feels welcome. Thanks for coming in and checking us out. It was hard, just that? Okay. The ad is real. Or the ADD is real. Wow. Yeah, mine's really bad and it's really untreated. I, like, lose count when I'm, like, counting $1 bills and stuff a lot. Anyway, crochet is really hard. I'm about to get high and it's going to be a lot worse. But anyway, yeah, let's do this. All right. 3, 2, 1, resume.
Stalker is Shannon, better known as Creepshow Art, and what I believe to be her current husband, Anthony Parker, who is also my abusive ex-partner. This has been my life.
Sorry.
This has been
what is
the
happening?
Thing that has terrified me, that has kept me up at night.
I did not plug in the crochet cam.
Incredibly cathartic. And Shannon, Anthony,
I haven't even
if you're
smoked yet
watching
today.
this, you have no idea what you guys have done to me. You think it's funny. You think it's something you can laugh about behind the scenes. You think it's retribution because I was a drug addict.
There you go. Oh.
You have.
Sorry.
You have made my life so much more difficult than it ever needed to be when I was in an incredibly vulnerable place. And what you have done is sick and twisted and cruel. And I hope that you never have the chance to do that to anyone else ever again. When I went into recovery for the final time, I did the work. I worked hard, and I had to take a long, hard look at myself in the mirror. And it wasn't pretty. It was ugly and it was broken, but I had to do it in order to change. Shannon, you need help. And this is me and everyone else asking you to go get help. Not just for yourself, but for the people that you have hurt. You need to take that long, hard look in the mirror like I did and see the ugly, broken pieces. There's no magic glue to put every single piece back together perfectly. But once it's all put back together, there is a clear reflection. I have to say, for legal purposes, that everything in this video is
disagree,
alleged.
James Rocks. I don't think that he sounds like a Karen. That she sounds like a Karen.
I also want to say I originally censored Anthony's name in this video. I called him Andrew, just kind of out of a habit. But I decided I'm not.
Give me just a second. I'll be right back. I have to go get my. I fucking lost my crochet hook. I have to go grab one.
When I was most vulnerable, and for the better part of the decade, he tried to make my life a living hell.
Here we go.
Thank you, everyone.
Look how pretty she is. Jeez Louise.
Hey guys,
I just realized we could do it this way.
Discussing something.
Oh my god!
I would.
So smart. This is the way we're gonna do
publicly.
Be right back.
If you're not sure what this is in reference to, I will link a few videos down below for people better explaining what has gone on.
Will that work?
This is in reference to Creepshow Art, or Shannon.
Yeah,
as most people know her, and actually my ex
boyfriend, believe it or not, who we will call Andrew. I've kind of had to get to a place where I turn off my emotions in order to just get through this quickly and concisely. I will warn you, I do not have all the receipts for everything. I have a very good handful of receipts pretty much proving that the person who has been stalking, harassing, and threatening me has been Shannon and my ex-boyfriend Andrew. Now, people are saying she is a husband. I guess I do not know if she went on to marry Andrew. I did not keep up with them just because they had traumatized me so much that by the time I figured out the person who had been stalking me for the better part of a decade was Shannon, I just blocked everything. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to hear her. I didn't even want to know she existed. I kept it all inside. I blocked her. I blocked him. I wanted nothing to do with them. So I don't know. I haven't watched most of her videos, except ones that are relevant to this, I guess, situation. This is going to be a long story, and it starts in a kind of weird,
do y'all want
kind of irrelevant
me
place,
to make the crochet bigger, the crochet cam bigger?
Me.
I'm definitely going to move it to the top
just going
left.
To try to get through that as quickly as possible. In case you don't know me, hi, my name is Emily. I make art content here on YouTube. I've been doing it for about 6 years now.
How's this?
Something that's important that doesn't
Got my
seem
hook?
like it would be at all important, but it is. I'm very open. I have struggled with addiction since I was about 14 years old. I am 7 years sober, I guess. I don't have an official sober birthday anymore because there were a few instances of relapse back then. So I just kind of go with 6 years sober, somewhere in there. I also struggled with an eating disorder and some pretty serious mental health issues.
Here,
I feel like
Emily.
I have a pretty good hold on those things right now, especially my addiction. It feels so far away from me. I feel like I've come very far, and I've done a lot of work
That's
on myself.
sick.
That is
Good
the
work.
number one thing I advocate on my channel is reflect, reflect, reflect.
Hell yeah.
And you know, learn to acknowledge and own up to your mistakes.
Yes,
There have
queen.
been several times on this channel that my own viewers have had to call me out and say, hey, this is shitty. And I've had to really take a good hard look at myself and kind of move forward and do better and work things out in therapy. And, you know, I think that's really important. And that's kind of what my whole YouTube channel is built around.
I have to pause really quick.
Art,
3,
love,
2,
rest,
1.
But also
Pause. Y'all, this is exactly what we talk about in here every fucking day. That's sick. I'm nice. I'm very, very happy to hear her talking this way. It's amazing that she can be that. Oh my God, my fucking hook was here the whole time. It was here the whole time. It was here the whole time. I'm a professional. I want to scream. I don't want to blast out your eardrums, so I'm gonna make a face like I'm screaming, and you can just imagine a scream here. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? 1 second. Let's do this. Let's do this the right way. Okay, I feel better now. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. This is what we wanted. Apologies. Okay, the stream is not ending, I promise. I'm psyched to hear her talk about. I cannot believe that she was struggling with addiction and harassment and stuff and still has this good of an attitude. That's fucking dope. I just want to say, like, that's insane that she is this, like, in control of her emotions, that she's this emotionally and psychologically mature. Like, just, that's sick. She sounds like a good person to me.
You know, have the ability to change and grow and be introspective. So I'm going to try to start from the beginning. The beginning timeline is a little bit hazy just because
Clogged.
drugs. So I was somewhere between 18 and 20, I want to say. I was a gig musician making shit all doing that because I still lived at home and I was a student. I took a gig performing at Nickel City Arcade in San Jose because they used to allow the shittiest of bands to perform in their literal birthday room. And Andrew was there with some friends. We ended up hitting it off, and we entered into a very toxic, codependent relationship. I was on a lot of psych meds, and I was also abusing certain prescription medications, specifically sleeping medications. There were several points in the relationship where I had like a full-on mental breakdown from all the cocktail of drugs going on in my system, and I basically expressed that I am deeply unhappy. I don't know if this relationship is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm very vulnerable, and every time that would happen, we would cry, we would hug, and we would go right back to that codependent relationship. It was a short-lived relationship, but it was very memorable because of how often I was afraid of Andrew and deeply concerned about what he might do, not just to me, but to other people.
If this is too small for you guys to see, let me know.
In the drywall of his home, and him and his friend Brandon would go into great detail about donning black trench coats like the Columbine killers, going into their old high school and shooting it up. They were very much of the belief that they were the intellectuals in their high school, and like all the footballers and the cheerleaders hated them, so F those people. They were very of that belief and kind of that, unfortunately, that
they were
stereotype.
Counterculture.
I think they acted with an air of superiority,
and disturbed,
but at the same time they were incredibly self-deprecating, often calling themselves the FAGS slur. It was a very confusing dynamic, a very confusing relationship that the two of them had. It was definitely concerning. I also came to find out years later that Andrew was regularly flirting and essentially cheating on me, exchanging photographs with other women. Which is really funny because the reason we broke up is because I commented on my very openly gay friends, I think Facebook picture like, "Ooh, you look hot today," double winky face. And that caused Andrew, I guess, to go into a rage. And so he had his best friend Brandon call me a slut and threatened to curb stomp me, to hurt me, and just repeating, "I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. You hope
this
you,
bitch has
you
sat
can
here
never
and
live
just
with yourself
tightened.
again. You are so filthy," and just berated me, just completely and utterly berated and shamed me and made me feel like a piece of shit. I cried. I was upset. I couldn't get a hold of Andrew after that. So the next day, I drove to his work. Now, Shannon worked where Andrew worked. I had seen Shannon on several occasions, never spoke to her, just kind of would wave to her. Never spent time with her. I just knew of her. I drove to Andrew's work.
Wait, they called themselves
to
the
see
F
if
word.
I could speak to him after his shift.
I did too.
He did not come into work that day. I went home. I cried about it.
It was a different time.
One last, like, what
it's
the fuck
not to
message.
say.
And then
I'm gonna pause.
on,
3, 2,
it was
1.
Fine. Didn't read.
I am not even remotely going to say that like that makes it okay that it was a different time. Just saying that it happened because it was a different time. People were not held accountable for their hateful shit as much as they are now. And I definitely said a lot of off-color stuff. I never said anything racist or anything like that because that's always made me very uncomfortable. But I definitely have always been very, we will say, counterculture when it comes to sexuality and gender. And I thought that the way to like be okay with that in the face of everybody that wasn't okay with that was by adopting those terms and making them my own, right? And this is not me saying that that's a good excuse. This is just me explaining the way that thought process was. And I know now that that's harmful and wrong, and just familiarizing yourself with that kind of language, using that kind of language, like you should be held accountable for that kind of thing. And I would be lying if I said that, like, I didn't push back, that I don't push back against stuff that is just a bad look sometimes. That's just true. I feel kind of like Emily Artful does. Like, you have to just make progress. That's the best you can do, right? But we do own up for our shit. That's a big part of becoming a better person, is just acknowledging and admitting that you have done something that was problematic, right? That's the first part. The second part is to fucking stop, right? And the third part is to prevent others. And that's just like the important part of growing from a non-problematic, or from a problematic person into a non-problematic person. I hope you're having a great day. You are awesome. Oh my God, King Natsu, I think that you're awesome. Thank you. That's a nice thing to say. Especially when I'm coming forward just like, I called myself the F slur all the time. Oh my goodness. You're a nice and understanding and open-minded person. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to continue in 3, 2, 1.
Reach out again. Andrew actually reached back out to me down the road, basically saying, hey, sorry for how things ended. We should be friends now. Then, of course, as all codependent relationships do, we entered into this kind of weird middle ground flirtationship. That became unhealthy, so I decided to kind of end it, kind of step back away from that. Then he expressed interest in having a professional relationship, having me sing on one of his tracks.
The stupid feeling that I know we know I can't see. You run away, close your eyes, blame yourself, count to 5. Will I ever see? I never seem to wonder why. I never wondered if all I needed was a hug.
I don't know if this is DMCA. I hope not. Hey, subscribe to me and become a member of my channel, please. Literally everything I ever do is demonetized. Thank you.
He sent me an MP3, and I noticed there was already a girl singing on the track. Now, let me be clear and honest right here, right now. I went through a hashtag pick me, hashtag anti-feminist phase.
Ooh, so did I. So
I 100%
hugely
did. And I was about to say, I don't know why that happened. I do know why that happened. I was not only in a very vulnerable place, I was using drugs. My brain was all sorts of just not functioning on a proper level. But besides Andrew, I had another domineering, powerful, abusive man in my life that was taking advantage of me in ways that I do not feel comfortable talking about publicly. So I had no control. I had no bodily autonomy. I had no control. That's just I had no control. I had nothing. So you know how I took control back? I learned this in therapy, by being a fucking bitch. That's how I took it back. And I never got to anywhere near Shannon levels of conniving bitchery. It was very open out front, like lots of hashtag anti-feminists and feminist roll eye, just
very much me too.
Girl. I was 100% that.
I was that too.
I believe it through and through.
Emily, I feel you.
Now,
I feel like
most
this
of
lady
my
is just
ire
me.
was aimed towards celebrities. I wanted to get people riled up about their favorite celebrities. So I would shit on celebrities and say really fucked up things. I'd slut shame them. I was super fat phobic. I was not a good person. That's not a different person, by the way. I don't like when people say, well, I'm not that person. I was that person. That person evolved. That person reflected. And that person had to change. Especially when I got sober. I really, really feel like my eyes started to open up as my brain repaired itself. He sent me the track. I hear the girl's voice. The girl's voice is Shannon's. And I say, man, that girl's voice is weak. It doesn't sound good on the track. My voice would sound so much better. Super catty, super bitchy, and super insecure, immature. There's a million words I could use for what I said about it.
1. I don't think that that's catty. I definitely don't. I'm sorry. I don't think that that's catty of her. If that girl's vocals were weak, then they were weak. Like, if she was a dick about the way she said it, then it's good that she's owning up to it. But I don't think that it's wrong to be like, my vocals would be better here. I take it back. She isn't a Karen. Yeah, she doesn't seem like a Karen at all to me.
So I put Shannon down to raise myself up. And I believe in doing that, that is what set off this chain of events, the stalking, the harassment, the threats. So I made that comment. Andrew didn't really
I did not hear the original
too
track.
much.
You
I
are
think he just said,
absolutely
like,
right.
wow, you think you're so confident. Like, it was a slightly negative reaction, but he still had me come in and sing on the track. What was interesting is when I started working professionally with him is when I started noticing some like really negative comments across all my social media. And at this point, the Emily Artful channel wasn't a thing yet. I just had like random social media accounts. I think I had a Minecraft account, an anime. I did short films. I had like a separate art account that was unrelated, a music account. And I started noticing a lot of really negative comments. I didn't think much of it because that's just kind of, you know, the business on social media is you get negative comments.
Yeah.
I figured it was normal. I was just seeing an increased volume in them. Something else I noticed kind of retroactively was that I was receiving a lot of Facebook friend requests from people that I didn't know, but I would have like a handful of mutual friends with. So I would, of course, accept these requests. And these were coming from Andrew and I believe Shannon, because this is Shannon for Shannon. Andrew is, you know, Andrew could be anyone. I have to say allegedly for Shannon to protect myself legally, because even though there is, I feel like, a lot of proof pointing in that direction, obviously nobody could say at any point, you know, when
I like that she's open about
Shannon
everything and owns up to her past
potentially
mistakes without
partake in
trying to
any of
sugarcoat it.
this?
Me too.
You know, who knows?
Me too. That's
So
what
I
I strive
make
to
sure I
do
put
all the
that-
time. I
put that
really
little
admire the way that she's
disclaimer
speaking
right
about this.
Who knows? But I believe at this point, potentially, Shannon was
Any relation to
working with-
Optica? Me? Are you asking me if I'm related to somebody named Optica? I am not. But I am interested. I don't even know who that is. But if you want to link me to their channel, I would that would make me really happy. I would love to see the person that you think I'm related to. I used to get that about John Wolfe all the time. People would ask me if I was John Wolfe's sister. And I always took that as a huge compliment because that dude is handsome as heck. Sorry, Zach, that you had to like wait for, I don't know how long ago you said that. I feel a little bad. I didn't realize that I just missed it. I'm sorry if you're still here.
Andrew to try to get up as much information about me as possible. Now, they ended up phishing me and locking me out of that original Facebook account. Now, I had that original Facebook account since I was a minor, since Facebook came out. And hidden in the messages of that account were some compromising photographs. Now, most of them were of me as an adult, but unfortunately, there were a few of me as a minor. And I tried to express that to my stalker several times, but they just disregarded it and said that I was a liar, which was infuriating and deeply upsetting and traumatizing. And what did they do with these photographs? Well, they went ahead and put them into a photo bucket account, as well as some other photographs from a website that I was on. At this point, I was doing some webcamming, not exactly something that I was doing of my own free will. A lot of that wasn't, but that's not Andrew and Shannon's fault. But they compiled a bunch of photographs, inappropriate photographs of me in this photo bucket account, and just taunted me with them, locked me out of my account, and then they emailed me with the email that they had managed to switch out my email for on the
Agree,
Facebook
Silgnath.
account. And the email, if I remember correctly, was, why do I have to do this 22 at Gmail, or 44? It was a double number. And the email that they sent me was pretty much of that tone. Why do I have to do this? I don't know, but I have to do this. Sorry. And then they blocked my email so I could not respond. And at the time, it was like impossible to get your Facebook account back. It was impossible because the like very stereotypical hackings had not happened yet. I have since still tried to recover that Facebook account, but I have had no luck. They went in and changed the phone number, the recovery phone number, the email. They changed everything. So I eventually actually became scared of trying to gain access to that account because I was afraid that I would irritate my stalker and they would,
I'm gonna pause.
dangle
3,
those
2,
photographs, some
1.
of which
I believe this entirely. There was a good 4-year stretch where I wouldn't replace my phone because I couldn't get my password for I didn't know what my password for Facebook was, and I had never added a phone number to it. I had never added a recovery email to it, and it was just, I couldn't change my phone because my phone was logged into my Facebook, and I was terrified that I was going to lose my Facebook account if I lost my phone. I appreciate your consistent ability to speak truth to power and bring up topics I would never be aware of myself. That's really sweet of you. Thank you, Tony. That's a really nice thing to say. I just I'm taken aback and lost my place there. I'm blushing. I'm touched by that. I think that integrity is one of the most important things that you need to maintain if you want to be seen as a good person or feel good about who you are as a person. And so that's just a huge part of my value structure. Integrity, Exactly. I was going to take a hit, but I'm already too high. I don't want another hit yet. Give me half an hour. Anyway, okay, I'm going to unpause. I'm just kind of backing her up here. I do remember it used to be really, really hard to fuck with your Facebook account in regards to passwords and stuff like that. It used to be really hard.
In which I was a minor, over my head. Again, I'm going to repeat, I have no idea if at this point Shannon was involved or not, but it was incredibly traumatic and upsetting. Again, I'm just trying to keep my brain devoid of emotion. That is pretty much how I've had to deal with this situation, these events, the entire time that they've been happening. And this is going on over the course of several years. Something else that happened is a lot of body shaming. Andrew knew that I had struggled and continue to struggle to this day even with an eating disorder. And I think he wanted to get a rise out of me, and he wanted to...
I don't think that anybody that's ever had an eating disorder is ever fully rid of it. Or at least that's my experience. I can only speak to my experience. I know that I can't eat so much as a fucking carrot without feeling guilty about it. Every time I eat, I feel guilty. And feeling guilty leads me to depression, and depression makes me either completely lose my appetite or want to do nothing but eat to drown out the feelings. And I just know that no matter how much work I put into it, no matter how healthily I eat, no matter how much I log my food, stuff like that, no matter how much I exercise, all of it, I know that I have never had a healthy relationship with food. And I certainly do not know how to restore a healthy relationship with food. And I most likely will die with an unhealthy I most likely will just have this for all of my days. And I think that everybody I've ever spoken to who has suffered from disordered eating at any point in their life has really kind of had the same experience. I'm not saying that like, if that's not your experience, then your situation isn't valid or anything. Like, I could be wrong, but I just want you guys to know that if you are feeling that way too, if you struggle, just know that you're not alone, at least. And I also just want to take a moment to say fuck eating disorders, and that there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra weight on you. Obviously you're more healthy at certain weights and stuff like that. But man, there are so many people out there that feel like they are not beautiful, even though they are just so super beautiful because of unhealthy standards put on them by themselves, by society, and by illnesses. It's just, you can get better, but it's very hard work. Yeah, who knows if you can always get all the way better, though. You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely better. Like, before, I just wouldn't eat. I just wouldn't do it unless I was forced to, because like I had control over that, you know? And at fucking 90 pounds, I was too fat, you know? And also, yeah, better isn't necessarily permanent. No, even sumo wrestlers are considered to be very healthy despite the weight. You know, I can't speak on that. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, any kind of morbid obesity or higher is, well, I mean, there's a reason that the word morbid's in there, you know? And that's not to say that anybody who has morbid obesity is a bad person or anything, because I don't believe that. And I don't think that I think that if you're happy with your body, then it's nobody else's business what the fuck you do, you know? As long as you can love you. I don't remember what the ultimate point was here. Oh, just, she's not weak for still having this disordered thinking, in my opinion. I think that almost everybody I know that's ever struggled with disordered eating, it's a lifelong struggle for them. As far as I am aware and have spoken to people about, I think that's just true. That it's just something that sticks around, you know? Oh man, Silgnav. Oh no. A healthy dose of OCD on top of your food phobias and stuff. Man, that's so rough. I still struggle with so many food phobias. Rotten food is a huge thing to me. Like, I throw away food well before it's rotten, which is awful.
What do you awful women
What
want?
do you awful women want?
Hosting with 31 viewers.
No, thank you so much, Callista, for the raid. That's so sweet. Everybody should go follow Callista. Callista's amazing. Part of, I don't remember the new name. Please, Callista, just post your links in chat. I don't want to go forth and butcher anything. Actually, I have a dick. Sick. I am very proud of you. Oh my God, we love butts. Okay. All right. What's that? You say women are awful? Now this is a stream I can get down with. Yeah. Women suck. Let's do this. No, that was just me being a pick-me girl. It's so crazy how much of her past aligns with my past. It's not good to bring down another person. Fully agree. Fully agree. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the video again. For those of you that are new here, my name is Doxy. We are crocheting, and we're doing a thing that I call creepy crochet, where we dive into something, some sort of audio file that we can get really into, and listen to that while I crochet something and you watch. We talk about it, we react to it. I don't know what I would call my channel. I do not know what I would call my channel. I'm sorry. It's a creepy, weird channel is what it is. I'm a creepy, weird guy. That's my pitch. I'm a creepy, weird guy. Please subscribe. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Have me relapse, essentially. So
Remind the rules. Oh, yeah. Also, we do not harass. That's the rule. The rule is we do not harass. These are real people that we are listening about right now. And if I find out that you've been harassing them, I will shout your name into a volcano, and you know, you will be plagued with nightmares for the rest of your life. If anybody, just if you harass people, fuck you and get out. I don't want you here. Oh, it's time for a stretch. Hi, Asoma. How are you? It's good to see you. My foot is asleep, so let's hope that I don't fall down. All right, I'm going to unpause this here. 3, 2, 1.
Body shaming. I have been overweight and I have been severely underweight. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. So I know the pain coming from
I'm going to touch my toes too. Hold on.
So there was lots of body shaming my face. People are commenting that I guess Shannon had made a lot of transphobic comments. Let me just say right now, the number one insult, this is how I know it's her, across the board, because, you know, everybody has haters, but I know it's her when I'm called pre-op.
Don't you be sorry about nothing,
TRANNY slur.
Please just post your links.
When did you get your operation, and do you still have, you know, boy parts down there? Just lots of incredibly transphobic insults. At this point in my life, I was not doing well. I was not
abide transphobia.
Into a drug addiction.
Can you rap like a pretzel? Probably not anymore. I feel way less flexible than I did even 2 years ago.
And I was still
it's insane.
In a very, very toxic, not romantic relationship, but a business relationship with someone where I had no bodily autonomy. So just I was in a very, very horrible, bad way. And I didn't really have control of much. I tried to get a regular job. And Andrew and potentially Shannon found out about this regular job and decided to email my job and send them a compromising video of myself. They posed as a client, said, "I'm a regular client. You've lost my business because look at your, you know, disgusting human being of a receptionist." Now, I am going to try and get in touch with this job to confirm that they did fire me because they received this email. Looks like they've had a
absolutely, Callista. Please share your links with everybody so that they can follow you.
That will be a very important receipt, so I'm really going to try hard to get that. But yeah, when I finally had some sense of normalcy and I felt like I was able to be free and maybe potentially break free of this really toxic cycle that I was in, they got me fired from my fucking job. And I actually ended up homeless for a period of time. So anytime Shannon talks about being homeless and having to live in her car, she did that to me. Allegedly. Hi, future Emily here. So Shannon was never technically quote unquote homeless. I mean, she was without a home, but in the traditional sense, her and Anthony were homeless by choice. And I know that because listen to what Anthony says in this video he posted on his YouTube channel in August of last year.
So in this video, I wanted to go over what it was like to be homeless or kind of partially be homeless, living out of a car for about 2.5, 3 years or so. And keep in mind, this was a conscious decision to do this. We didn't get evicted and thrown out on the street or something like that. We planned for this for about 6 months to about a year or so. And I also thought it would be kind of fun to go over the recording rig that I had kept while we were living out of the cart and how I managed timing.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was
working
so
on headphones
out of frame there.
And a computer.
Definitely
and
don't
the public
hesitate
library,
to shout at me when
during
that
their
happens.
operating hours. Around 2015 or so, a few friends and I decided that it was a good idea to try and save rent money by moving into our cars, essentially. We weren't too happy living in California, and the rent is atrociously high, and it's just getting higher. The culture there is it's kind of pathetic. I mean, because what's weird about San Jose specifically, and a lot of the southern parts
went about 12 hours total in VR, and I was so emotional. I'm going to pause really quick. Are you okay? Being a method actor is fun, but hurts. Yeah, for sure. Oh, bud. Well, I have a big fat internet hug that I'm handing to you right now. That's for you. You take it. If you need to chat, I'm here for you. If you gotta go or whatever, I'm certainly not gonna hold it against you. It is fun though. Bro, that sounds like so much fucking effort to go through. I don't know a lot of situation because just joined, but like how the fuck do you have that much energy to be hateful to people and go out of your way to try to ruin their life? Yo, Matt, this person made it their hobby. It sounds like this is what the Doxy fat shooting. You're goddamn right. I'm fat phobic against hugs. What is this chat room? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play again. I was in the middle of saying something. I'm okay. Just totally cried for like an hour or two in total because method acting put me in the mindset of the characters. Be in that set even out of RP for hours. Yeah. Yeah. No. I get you. That's intense. We're here if you need to talk at all. Yeah, I imagine you must be very tired. 12 hours. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Especially amongst millennials, it's a lot of, I've always described it as different subsets of millennials LARPing and trying to turn Campbell and South San Jose into something that it's not. And more specifically, I would meet, I don't know, an actor or something like that who wants to pretend that it's LA, or I'd meet a pretentious goth girl who wants to act like it's San Francisco and is kind of pissed off that it's not really San Francisco. And I'd meet these redneck kind of characters that want to pretend that it's Alabama or something like that. And I'm like, well, you grew up like 5 blocks away from me. Like, it's not.
And to be fair, I don't know if Shannon has ever clarified that they were homeless by choice, but from what I'm reading, it seems like anytime she got called out, she would use her homelessness and the hardships she went through while being homeless as kind of like an excuse for her behavior. So I don't know if she ever clarified that it was by choice. Basically, hashtag van life. Anytime
I'm down to play games sometime. I still play games. I just don't
in
stream them
any
anymore.
way, they would try desperately to take it away from me. I have tried to turn my emotions off this whole time, but I can't hear. They wanted me destroyed. Any good thing that I could have, they wanted it destroyed. And anytime I saw that light, they would snuff out that light so fucking fast. And that is not even the worst of it. I'm going to compose myself and come back. So after this happened, I went into a really dark downward spiral. There was a lot that was very difficult for me that I had to overcome pretty much completely on my own. But then once I did overcome it, I ended up meeting someone, moving in with them and getting a different job. And again, Andrew and potentially maybe Shannon did everything they could to try to find out where I was working. For some reason, they knew it was at a restaurant, a specific type of restaurant. So they literally, copied exactly one of my friend's Facebook accounts, took the about information, all of their pictures, and made this other Facebook account and acted like, oop, my Facebook got deleted, Emily. Like, can you add me again? And my dumbass was like, okay. And so, oh my God, I want to scream at my past self. But I accepted the friend request. And then, of course, they post, hey, does anybody know of any really cool, this specific type of cuisine restaurants in this specific location? And at that point, I'm like, you are not my friend. And so I blocked them. I knew right away that they were trying to find out where I worked. They wanted to try to bait me to be like, yeah, I work here, so that they could call and get me fired from another job. But I was like, no, F you. Block them, let my other friend know, hey, you're being impersonated. And so I believe that account got taken down very quickly because he reported that account as an impersonation account. At this point, I was starting to do better. I was starting to experience sobriety. I was on a program. Things were looking up, and I started the Emily Artful channel. And I decided going forward, I had done a lot of therapy and healing. I was not so much of a hashtag pick me anymore. I was learning a lot about myself and my flaws and what I needed to do better. And I put a lot of that love and energy and time into the Emily Artful channel. I still put my heart and that same kind of love into the Emily Artful channel. I know it's been inconsistent lately. I've been dealing with so much. After my last baby was born, just so much. And this channel, I know some people, it's like it's a business, and I do see it as a business, but at the core, this channel saved me. This channel kept me back on track. You guys, this little community that we've built, I really feel like this channel saved me. And continues to save me. Sorry for the sappy moment. This is difficult. So that's when I noticed the comments started appearing again. And at that point, I was fully aware that I had a stalker, that someone was harassing me. And at that point, it was terrifying because I had no idea who it was. Because there had been a handful of toxic people in my life. When you do drugs and your mind is not functioning in the way that it needs to be, and also when your brain is in recovery as well, unfortunately, you tend to gravitate towards those codependent relationships. And I was certainly one of those.
Oh my God,
people.
Matt, you're in for
I started
some
my
big
series,
shit.
Sketchbook Storytime, because I noticed there was kind of like a gap in the market. There were Storytime channels.
You're in for
and there
some
were
big
art
shit,
channels, and
bud.
obviously there were millions of gaming channels at the time, but I'd not seen thus far anyone marry art and story times. Do I think I'm like the absolute 100% first person who's ever done this ever? No, but I did try pretty hard to find other people doing sketchbook story times, but I couldn't find that. So I came up with this term, and I created the series where I talked about different incidents in my life. And then I started getting these comments, people saying like, do you know Creepshow Art? And Creepshow Art is copying you. And have you seen this Creepshow Art girl? I was getting comments that were like, interesting. They were like, ugh, you're just a ripoff of Creepshow Art. And then opposite comments that were like, love you, Emily. Creepshow Art is a ripoff of you. Like, what was interesting is I was getting a lot of these comments about this one YouTuber and nobody else. Even though I've done like challenges and trends, and I didn't feel, I feel like art YouTubers, we all kind of like borrow ideas from each other. So it's like I was never compared to anyone else but Creepshow Art. Now, I thought it was kind of weird, but I was also new to the environment. So I figured it was probably like it came with the territory, essentially. So I didn't think anything of it until I got a comment of someone saying, hey, Creepshow Art has stolen a few of your thumbnails as well as your sketchbook storytime name. Like, she has completely ripped off your series. And so then my ears pricked up a little bit, and I did notice some of the thumbnails were slightly similar, but I did see that she was using my sketchbook storytimes like name for her series. And I was like, but I watched a couple of her videos, and honestly, like, I liked the videos. I thought she was personable and enjoyable. Now, at that point, I had been doing YouTube maybe for two or 3 years, I want to say. So I had been around for quite some time before her. Before her. But I
am
like
copying Mila Kunis. Good
larger
catch.
channel. I was still quite a small channel. So when I approached her and I sent her a private message, I was perfectly polite. I didn't want to feel like I was like coming in here and trying to intimidate her to get her to change her series name. Hi Shannon, my name is Emily, and I have a channel on YouTube called Emily Artful. It's been brought to my attention that you have a series with the exact same name as a series I created 3 years ago called Sketchbook Storytime. I'm going to guess this was most likely 100% by accident or by coincidence, but I put my heart and soul into my series, and I'd really, really appreciate if you were able to change the name of your Storytime videos. You are completely within your right not to, as it's your channel and you can do with it as you please, but from one artist to another, I hope you'll understand how it can hurt my business. I love your art, and it's obvious you're very talented. You've got an incredibly unique style. I've never seen anything like it. I hope you understand my requests, and I hope you don't think I'm angry. Things like this happen all the time. I figure it's just a coincidence. Thank you, Emily. And Shannon responded, "Sorry, man, I watched Lehman Raptor on YouTube and she has a series titled the same name and she gave me a go-ahead. I'll just label them as story time since that's all it is, but I appreciate you letting me know your concern." Looking into it, there are quite a few accounts using the same name for similar series, kind of like Get Ready For Me for beauty YouTubers almost. I think at the very least you might have started a trend, which is commendable. Sorry I made you uncomfortable in any way, my dude. By the way, I tried to find at that time other people calling their things sketchbook story time, and I actually couldn't find that. And maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough, or maybe Lehman Raptor, who she mentioned, like had changed the name. I don't know if she got wind of it, or
Hold on.
I don't even
So
know.
sorry. I want to read this. It's supposed to be Lamonceraptor. I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. I didn't learn this until very recently, so I never reached out to ask Lamonceraptor to change her series. By the time I figured out her real username, I didn't care if people used Sketchbook Storytime in their title because I had matured and realized I didn't want to pull a fine bros and try to own a phrase that was so general.
No, but I couldn't find
Hi,
anyone
Ethan
else
Hodge.
calling their
I did finish the white crochet
sketchbook
piece.
story
It's
times.
done.
And now
It's
there's tons
here.
of people calling them sketchbook story times because,
Oh,
as I
that's
say
too
here
close to
in
the
a
light.
minute on the receipt, it's a pretty generic name. Like now, I would never in a million years. But at the time, I was still kind
All
of
done.
green. I was getting to know the layout of the land. And again, it's like a generic name. So whatever. I'm totally actually, if anything, supportive
What size
now
needle?
of people using
I'm currently
Sketchbook Storytime
using a
because
J-hook.
that is what it is. But
Or,
regardless, I
sorry,
was very
10 if
polite
it's numbers.
and friendly, so I
and
wasn't
6
bullying
millimeter if
anyone.
neither.
I wasn't trying to be intimidating.
Thank you, Ethan.
And she responded
Thank
in
you.
kind.
Now
And
we're
then I
making
said,
a
"Thank you
dragon
so
egg
much."
dice
And
bag.
no, didn't make me uncomfortable one bit. I was pretty sure it was just a coincidence. I'm so glad excuse me. I'm so glad I was able to start a trend within the community. I just want to protect certain properties that I've started. The act of storytelling itself is wonderful, and I hope more and more people keep sharing. Maybe I shouldn't have picked such a generic name. And again, I repeat, now I totally get. Like, please, everyone use Sketchbook Storytime. Do not feel the need to ask me. But I was very green at the time, fresh off of those DeviantArt presses. Like, that's what I remembered is protect your OCs, protect your properties, to protect your intellectual properties. I'd already had something stolen of mine at one point. So after that was settled, I received a DM with a screenshot of my YouTube homepage, including my icon. And in my icon, there's me, Emily, with long black hair, and I was wearing a winter
She's
scarf
so pretty.
around my neck. But since it was also black, everything kind of blended together. And this sock puppet account said,
She
"Your
has
new icon
very
looks like you're
lovely
wearing a hijab."
eyebrows.
Just so you know. I know you're not Muslim, so I wanted to make sure no one got offended. And I was like, yeah, it might be wise for me to change that. Then later on, this sock puppet account messages me again and says, "I just found another channel that is copying you. Have you heard of Creepshow Art?" And I say, yeah, people have been messaging me a lot lately and saying she is copying me. I just think she's got a very similar personality type to me. We had a discussion about her calling her new series Sketchbook Storytime, and she very kindly said
Jackie,
she'd
I can't
change it.
change the
Otherwise,
weather.
I don't really
Fucking
have much
love
of an
Ashton
issue with
Kutcher
what
and
she
Mila
does,
Kunis.
as
I'm
long
so
as it's
happy
not
that they're
a close
together.
to exact
It's
ripoff of my
parasocial as
content.
hell, but it makes me really
And
happy.
the sock puppet account continues to kind of push and egg on. I think it's super similar, ... Have you seen any of them? Just
Hi,
really
Bumble
trying
Kitty
to get a
Store.
reaction out of
Same
me there.
thing.
And I say, I have.
Really quick.
I
So
agree,
sorry.
they are
Pausing.
very
3,
similar.
2,
But again,
1.
I'm not worried.
Right now, we're covering, we're listening to the evidence and looking at the evidence that Emily Artful put forth literally almost a year ago, last summer, about another YouTuber stalking her. I only just learned about it over the weekend, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be amazing for Creepy Crochet. So you guys might be more familiar with this stuff than I am. But I am fascinated by it. And this person that was victimized, I'm like kind of standing her a little bit. And I just kind of want to know. I'm just curious. I'm morbidly curious about what happened, and I want to hear her story. Ooh, here for the tea.
worried about it. As long as she doesn't directly copy anything from me, it should be fine. And then the sock puppet says, you have a really good attitude about it. Smiley, I'm glad you aren't angry. And I know that right there, allegedly, that was Shannon allegedly being upset that I did not have a reaction or said something crappy behind her back because, you know, I'm
Pausing,
not her.
3, 2, 1.
And
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell that that's her. Now that we know that she was the one behind all the lol cow posts, right? By the way, I am really looking forward to seeing what kind of stuff, like I'm looking forward to hearing about what she posted about herself and about her friends that like got her busted. Anyway, okay, I'm going to repause 3, 2, 1, or re-unpause 3, 2, 1.
see, after our previous conversation, when I actually talked to the quote-unquote real Shannon, I had added her on Instagram as like a sign of goodwill. So me following Shannon on Instagram is a really important piece of information I'm going to ask you to put a pin in because I accidentally skipped over something. So let's rewind a year. At that point, I was completely unaware of like what Andrew was doing, who he was dating, let alone that he was dating Shannon. And one of my videos had all of a sudden gotten
She
like
said
this
that they
huge
dated for less than
influx
a
of
year,
views,
right?
like 200,000 or something. And again, I was still a relatively small channel. I was green. I was so excited. So I posted, my video just went a little viral, or my video went viral. I think it's the first thing that I posted.
Thank you so
And then when I
much,
thought about it,
J-Rod.
I'm
That's
like,
so
no,
nice.
it's more like mini viral. So I came in and made like a second tweet saying it went mini viral.
Thank you.
And all of a sudden, out of the blue, Andrew started following me and then responded to me and one of my viewers congratulating me. And he said, buying 100,000 views for a few $100s isn't viral, Judd. Just FYI. And then
Is Judd her
I'm
last name?
not sure.
Or
I
her
blocked
maiden name, I
Andrew
guess?
somewhere. And so he was able to make another tweet at me, replying just to me this time. He says, also, why do you keep blocking me? Hey, everyone, she's a blocker and a meanie. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Because I guess he thought that was funny. And then all of a sudden, moments later, I get a DM on Twitter from an account literally named notviral_Emily. And in this DM, it has my Social Blade stats, basically circling and insinuating that I had paid for these views because I guess at this point Andrew had no idea how the YouTube algorithm works, and sometimes a video is just heavily promoted. This just dawned on me. Wouldn't it be crazy if they spent money to buy views for my channel so they could accuse me of spending money to buy views for my channel? Let me be clear right now, by the way, I have never bought views, bought subscribers, bought any form of promotion. I've never bought an ad for myself. I don't do that. I'm adamant about that. So pretty
I don't
irritating
think there's
having
anything
someone
wrong with
come in
buying
and
an
accuse me of
advertisement
that.
for yourself, Emily. But
And
go
so
off,
then
queen.
this not viral Emily,
I would do it if I could
AKA
afford it. I would
says,
100%
"So you paid for
advertise.
these.
I would
That much is
100% buy
obvious."
ads.
And I say, no, I actually didn't. If you look my video, You Are Not an Artist, around that same time, you'll see it got really big. All those subs were most likely gained from that video. I have a child now. I gotta spend my cash on diapers and formula, dude. It's a waste of money to buy subs. Not viral Emily responds, sure. What you just said further implies buying subs, you see. The idea
Yeah,
behind
me
just
either.
buying
Like, I
views
stand
/ subs
everything
for
else.
one video
Like,
would be
I'm on
smart
your side
if
100%,
it wasn't so
but
horribly shown.
there's
So
nothing
you're telling
wrong
me
with
none
buying
of
an
those viewers
advertisement.
browse your other videos? Because looking at them, they didn't. Nice try, though. Better luck next time. Also, 200,000 isn't viral. It's silly no one else has called you out on it, because damn, it is so obvious. Hey guys, future Emily here again. So while I was recording, I noticed something really interesting. So for the screenshot that I took of my Social Blade stats back at the time, this sock puppet account was accusing me of buying subs and views. You can notice the spike in subs and views starts at the end of September and goes into the first week of October. And until about the 7th, and then it goes down from there. Unfortunately, I only took that one screenshot, but if I look at my analytics, it looks like somewhere in there is where I got that spike
agree,
in views
Asoma.
and subscribers. Now, if we go over
If you
to
did
the
get an ad, it should
screenshots
just be a
I
banner
took
that
of
says Zero
Anthony's
Toxic Farts
messages,
and Crafts.
as well as the sock puppet account's messages,
I
you'll
love
see I
that
took those
so much.
screenshots on October
J-Rod,
23rd,
you might have just named
2017,
our
and that
next
was the
stream.
last time that these screenshots were at all messed with. Now, just because I remember to take screenshots on that day doesn't mean that is when I received those messages. But if we look at this screenshot right here, you can see that the sock puppet account sent me their original message on Saturday at 10:58 a.m. Now, for something like that, I probably would have responded right away, so I didn't see it until 8:59 p.m., but it was still on the Saturday. Now, October 23rd in 2017 fell on a Monday, so I can only assume that the messages sent by the sock puppet and Anthony came then the Saturday before the 23rd, which was the 21st. Can I just say that I'm super glad most social media now includes the date next to the timestamp? Because remember,
art is
after
really
Anthony
cool.
was
She's
tweeting
very
at
creative.
me, accusing me of buying subscribers, only moments later did a sock puppet account accuse me of the same thing. Nobody else did. Just Anthony and this sock puppet account. And you can see that I was reacting to both of them at very similar times because, like I said, I responded to that sock puppet account at 8:59 p.m. and then privately messaged Anthony at 9:30 p.m. on that same day. I just find it oddly suspicious that Anthony just decides
This
out of the
boner must
blue
have
to
been
go
wild at
looking
the
for
Super
me
Bowl.
a week and a half within the first time one of my videos, quote unquote, blow up, because now I'm second guessing everything. As you can see, there is a pattern of behavior. Anytime I experience even a modicum of success, he just has to destroy it. He has to attempt to crush my motivation. That seems like their main goal is to absolutely crush my motivation and get me to stop doing the things that I like and that I love. Any good thing that happens to me, they have to find out, hack my email, my Facebook, find out what's good in my life and try to ruin it. Relationships, YouTube, anything, my income, they just don't want me to succeed. And this seems to be a pattern. Just by the way, all the lolcow posts, I was reading through them. This is a pattern. But anyway, so I decided to unblock Andrew and confront him. Now, I do not have
Almost
what I
slipped.
said to him, but I essentially
Yeah,
said
she's
something
fantastic.
like, "Why are you harassing me? Why are you doing this to me? We loved each other once. Can we not respect that? Can we just respect each other and go our separate ways? I just want to be left alone," essentially. And I know that sounds way too light and airy and soft, but I'm afraid of him. I was and I am still afraid of him. He talked about in detail shooting up his school, who he would shoot. If I could go back and shoot up these people. He is the kind of person to just snap, get in the car, drive cross country, and kill me. I literally have a written up statement saying if anything mysterious happens to me, this is who you should be worried about. This is who your suspect should be. That may
She
sound
sells
totally
shirts of this?
paranoid
That's
to some
sick.
of you. And trust me, I get paranoid with some of these receipts.
I would rep.
But he was a scary guy to be with. I felt trapped in a lot of instances, especially since I was vulnerable. And even here, when I'm starting to get sober, I'm vulnerable. My mind is recovering. Okay? I was still in a vulnerable position, so I was still very frightened. He says back, "Harassing? No, I've only posted in what my accounts are, like what has my face on it. And I'm not angry. I was just curious. I figured maybe if I get more ridiculous, I'd get a response."
Why did he say that? If you know anything, the way Shannon types, you'll be able to hear her all up in this post. I've read more of her posts since I recorded the initial audio, so it is now obvious to me that this was most likely Shannon responding. Compare that to the original tweets Anthony sent, which were more forward in nature. Shannon is the queen of deflection and manipulation, and there are so many more receipts that further prove that point. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. But, why would he say, "I've only posted from my accounts"? She didn't say anything, right? Am I crazy? Did I miss it? Am I high? I'm definitely high, but she didn't say, "Why are you Have you seen Smiling Friends? Nope. Anyway, I could have missed it.
I wanted to see where your stuff went, which is why I was bummed you blocked me. But no, I'm not angry at all. Thank you for the reason, though. Much appreciated. Good luck out there.
Thank you, Henry.
I
think
more
so too.
ridiculous
I
get
have a lot of
response.
fun
That's
doing
just
creepy
pure
crochet
entitlement
with
right
y'all.
there, and it terrified me.
That
It
is
said that if I
entitled,
don't
by
pay
the way.
attention to this man in some way, shape, or form,
That he was like,
give
I'll
him
get
sympathy. I
worse
don't even
if
know
you
what he
don't
wants.
answer me. That's
a
fucked
reaction,
up.
anything, he will up the ante. And that's terrifying. Fast forward a year again, I had followed Creepshow Art on Instagram. Scrolling through Instagram one day, and I noticed a drawing that resembles Andrew, because Andrew had a very specific look to him. And I was like, oh, who drew this? What a coinkydink. Creepshow Art. I read the caption, and it says something about working with, and she tags Andrew. And my fucking heart falls out my ass. What's interesting, though, is at that point, I didn't accuse Shannon right away. I was actually, if anything, I was concerned about Shannon, and I mentioned that in later receipts. I was worried because I know how Andrew can be, and he had just put me through so much. When we were, Andrew and I were kind of still in a flirtatious place, at one point, he had come over. I was at my dad's house. I had been using. He crawled through my window. I've discussed this before. That is how I got people in and out of my room secretly. He climbed in through my window.
Hi, babe.
I
love them too. I love them too a lot.
While I was incredibly and obviously intoxicated by way of heroin. I was nodding off. I was incoherent. And I only, whether it be from being on drugs or it being a trauma, I only remember bits and pieces of it. I don't know if he was with Shannon at that point. I do think she is aware of the encounter, as I have received.
I know I glazed over this very quickly. Talking about it, let alone even thinking about it, is still very difficult for me, and I am still working through that trauma personally. I have no idea if he was in a relationship with Shannon at the time the assault occurred, but it seems like it's a possibility. Wow. Yikes. Yikes.
Received, again, YouTube comments. I believe it was just one comment basically saying that I forced another girl's boyfriend to cheat on her. So that was kind of a very specific rumor. And again, like, these things just never caught traction most of the time. And I'm sorry, I don't have receipts for a lot of these YouTube comments. I don't remember what video they're on.
I don't have the receipts at the time of this video, and yes, I'm certain I deleted some of them because friends and family were telling me to delete and block for my safety / peace of mind. But I know there are still tons of sock puppet Creepshow comments under my videos, new and old. It will take some time, but I'm sure when I have more time to search, I'll be able to find plenty. During the editing of this video alone, I stumbled upon a lot more receipts and had to add in so much stuff. Buckle up, this rabbit hole goes down a long way. We are 46 minutes into the first 2-hour video of at least 5 videos that we're going to be watching. I just want to hug her so bad. I just want to hug her and tell her that she is good and that this stuff is, she did not deserve this. I feel so awful for her.
On most of my videos have hundreds of comments, so I don't really know exactly how to rifle through all of them. Also, before I spoke to a lawyer and then eventually police, I was not screenshotting anything. I was afraid, so I was mostly just going through, deleting and blocking, just trying to get this person to leave me alone, because everyone's advice was just disengage, block, delete, and block. Just get them as far away from you as humanly possible.
1. People do this shit to me all the time too. When I feel like I am being stalked or harassed, and I will be honest, I've had one stalker ever. It's over. Like, that is an over situation. But like, when I'm being harassed and people tell me to delete shit or block people, it makes me so fucking mad. It makes me so fucking mad. Larkin's dumbass friends, who was around when they were in here all the fucking time. Were any of you here for that? Like, legit, they would come in here and they would say disgusting shit. Just disgusting shit to me. They tried to spread my nudes around, which was funny because I just answered by posting them myself, and that stopped that dead in its tracks. But anyway, I just... And when people tell me to just block them, they just make new fucking accounts. Like, stop. That's bad advice. Don't fucking tell people to just block people. Like, if you do that, like, just reevaluate the advice that you're giving, because what you're doing is you're just trying to shut them up. You don't want to hear about their problem anymore. That's what it is. You don't want to listen to them complaining about this problem that is very real anymore. Take evidence, then block. Don't block. Yeah, I feel like that's outdated advice. I feel like it was never good advice. And I have always felt that way. I remember that happening during one or two of your streams, but I didn't realize what was going on at the time. It wasn't until you posted the photos on Twitter that I realized what they were doing. Yeah, they really, really wanted to ruin me. And let's look at it fucking... now I have 32 viewers total across 2 platforms, and they are fucking rich IT kids. So sick. I have a fiber artist friend who's going through something similar. Her mental health is hurting, and so is her business, and she can't even post regularly on social media because of this wacko. Fuck. I want to say, please feel free to post her links here so that we can all go support. But, like, I definitely don't want you to... Like, I can understand why that would be an uncomfortable and, like, bad idea. But, like, if you think that's a good idea, like, I'm happy to go show that person love. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Doxy. I don't get people. Yeah. It's... Well, I don't even consider them stalkers. They were just harassers. Like, they found out where I used to live and doxed me on Doxbin. Like, if you Google me, you can find a bunch of stuff that they posted on the internet from when I lived in Providence, Rhode Island in the U.S. And I still don't consider that stalking because, one, they were fucking bad at it and stupid. And two, like, I'm pretty hard to, like, I've always been upfront about my problematic shit. I've always owned up to the bad stuff that I do. Like, do whatever you need to do. My integrity is rock fucking solid. You are not going to crumble a house of cards on me because I do not keep a house of cards. And that's just like how sure of myself that I am. Clip this and play it in case I ever Me Too myself. It's not gonna fucking happen. But these people really tried. They really, really tried to ruin me. At least we are decent 34. Yeah, you're the best 34, 100%. Don't ever get it twisted. I love and appreciate you guys so much. It's just scary when this is your job and the only job that you can have as an expat, you know? Anyway, we're gonna unpause here. 3, 2, 1.
And it wasn't until I had a consultation with a lawyer that they were like, no, don't do that. Screenshot. Keep track of everything. And I believe that was in 2017 that I really started keeping track of these receipts. So unfortunately, yes, some of this is hearsay, but I also have a shit ton of proof that Andrew and Shannon are behind this. Speaking of which, let's move on to Snapchat. One day I just received a completely random Snapchat photograph of what looked like a specific square in the city that I lived in with some nonsensical text overlaid on top. I don't have the initial Snapchat because I just kind of froze in panic, but I do have the response to that Snapchat. I wrote, "Are you in my city?" And Kilgore Trout is the name that they chose this time. And they said, somewhere, I suppose.
Why do
in
I
its
recognize
labyrinth.
that? Is
And then you
Kilgore
could see I
Trout
started
a
typing
person?
back, you are fucking insane. Now, I'm sorry for the ableist language I was using here. I was so freaked out. You guys have no idea the level of
Unpausing
fear
or pausing.
that
3,
I had
2,
in this moment.
1.
I was
Is it ableist to call somebody insane? It's frustrating that people like this get targeted for no fault of their own, besides that these asshats decided to make someone's life worse and they just happen to be in the crosshairs at the moment. Yeah, I have no idea why they chose me. Like, I don't know. I was just somebody that hung out with their friend. Like, I was very, very fond of Larkin. I was really close with him, and like it felt, I guess I wasn't as close as I thought, or at least he didn't care about me as much as I thought he did. But yeah, I don't know. It sucks that it happened to me, and it sucks that it happened to her, and I cannot believe the extent so far to which it has happened to her. I've seen discourse that calling people psycho is ableist, but I don't know. I feel I don't feel like when you are saying that somebody who is doing something is insane and using that as a negative thing, I don't think that's ableist. Stalking somebody is not something that a healthy person does. That is something that an insane person does. Right? Like, that's just true. And it's not a good thing to be insane. I don't think anybody out here is like, I fucking love having bipolar. I don't think anybody's like that. Psycho is a diagnosis. Insane is just something that is not sane. I feel like the term psycho is different than insane. Psycho could be problematic, but I don't think insane is. Insane in the member. I fucking love you guys. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
was 100% convinced that this person, Andrew or Shannon or whoever, was in my city and they were going to hurt me. You can see I said, answer me. You drove all the way here? And they said, I don't have a driver's license yet. My parents drove me here. And here is where I believe that they're starting to set up breadcrumbs that the person who was stalking me is a minor, which I find just, I mean, this is what's disturbing.
That is
Shannon
disturbing.
and Andrew both, and specifically Shannon, really,
Yeah,
the
this is a really nice drawing.
manipulation,
I feel like
the
this
intense
person is
orchestration
very
of all of this,
talented and
the sock
creative.
puppet accounts, this is disturbing to me because they covered their tracks as far back as, I think this was 2017. This is how long, how deeply disturbed these individuals are. So I say, why? And then they say, I have prolonged fits of daydreaming at times. Just this really, and I know it may not seem scary to some people, but to me, this is so messed up. I 100% believe that this person was in my city
I'm gonna rearrange
looking
stuff
for
a
me
little bit
so that they
here.
could kill me. Like I had mentioned before, Andrew and his friend Brandon discussed at length about going into their old high school and shooting it up. They also completely idolized Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. They just thought he was like the most chaotic evil, the most amazing, cool villain ever. Andrew had discussed donning a mask, kidnapping the people who made fun of him in high school, and torturing them. This is what was coming to the forefront of my mind when I was receiving these Snapchats. I'm going to include some of the photograph Snapchats now. I don't know if they're in the right order because there was a lot of just nonsensical talk and they don't have their original file names. So I'm not exactly sure, but I
All the
think I
receipts
have
have
them
been
in
on
the
the
right
top
order
left,
because eventually he stopped talking to me through the Snapchat chat and just through the images. And you can see how I'm so afraid of him. I start to do that tend and befriend thing. I try to approach him with a softness, just trying to get to that part of him, that little piece of him that is human. And I know some people are going to use this to doubt my validity and be like, well, if you're really scared, why were you being so nice to him? Again, I was trying so hard to tap into that human emotion so he wouldn't come to my fucking house. I was terrified. I'm sorry, but you would never know what you would do in that situation until you're actually in it. So I just want to say that. I'm looking here. I'm a little confused because I have two screenshots. The one where I say, "Are you in my city?" And then he says somewhere, I suppose, and it's Labyrinth. But I also have a screenshot from the exact same day that I say, "Are you in my city?" And then I say, "That's no proof that you're here," assuming I'm responding to a Snapchat photograph. And then I say, "It breaks my heart that you do this, that you want to hurt me. I wish you'd put that energy into your music. You have so much potential and you're wasting it all on this obsession with me." I don't know. Maybe I asked, "Are you in my city?" twice. I'm not 100% sure, but here are those two screenshots. At this point, I did know that Shannon and Andrew were in a relationship, but I was still kind of under the impression that Andrew was just doing this on his own and that Shannon had no idea. Now, the reason I didn't go and tell Shannon was because I, again, am terrified of this person. I didn't want to rock the boat. I literally just wanted them to leave me the fuck alone.
I can
Now, I don't
empathize
have a
with that.
screenshot of this, but I did send a message to him saying, "Do not come to my home. I have a security animal," which is 100% true. Osa is not only an emotional support dog, she is also a trained security dog. I also let him know that I have a gun in the home that I have access
Matt,
to
you're
and that I
right.
know how to use. And that if he tried to
Yeah,
hurt
Bumble
me,
Kitty's-
that I would be
feel like we're all
forced
on
to
the same
have to
page here.
defend myself. And at this point, I had the gun. Like, I had the gun out and ready. I was fully prepared for him to come to this house and to hurt me. At this point, I was not only
J-Rod.
thinking about him fantasizing
I've watched
about
Evil
shooting
Lives
up
here.
his high school.
That's the
about
kind of shit that
tormenting
happens.
his ex-classmates. I was not only thinking about how he was perfectly comfortable having sex with me while I was half unconscious. I was not only thinking about the emotional abuse he put me through in our relationship, how afraid he made me. But I was also thinking about the pure dedication over, at this point, would have been 7 or 8 years of him obsessively, constantly making sock puppet accounts, harassing me, belittling me, shaming me, trying to trigger my eating disorder. This man was the definition of obsessed. After I told him, "Do not come to my house. I have a security dog and a weapon in my home," he said, "The valiant taste of death, but once. Cowards fear it many times." In the very first Snapchat that he sent me that I was not able to capture, there was the business loft in it, and we have a loft here in our city in a very specific town square. So I was under the impression that he was in this town square because the architecture was very similar. This is why I was under the impression that he was in our city. So for some reason, I just don't have a screenshot of me asking this, but I said, "Are you near the loft in our city or your city?" To which he
That is not what I
responds
want.
with
Fuck's
this,
sake,
"There
I'm an
is,
idiot. I'm
alas,
so
only
sorry."
one loft. Infinite copies of voids upon voids, reflected, as it were, into the greater void of
poor woman,
perception.
yeah, this is
that which is
scary.
named but not known, in which loft
Like,
is one
okay,
of any possible
pausing,
combination
3,
of voids.
2,
Infinite
1.
yet distinct.
It is scary that like he feels like he is an intellectual like that. This is giving me huge like, what the fuck is this edgelord? Yeah, this is giving me huge like dangerous incel vibes. You know what I mean? And I listen. I right away. I just want to say that if you are an incel, I care about you. And more people care about you than you think. And if you are part of an incel community, please, I beg of you to not get wrapped up in that. You have a home here. You can talk to us about how you feel and we will not judge you. But like, this is the kind of stuff that is like a rabbit hole incel does and says. Damn, I would be so terrified. This guy probably gets off on her being scared. She said earlier that she thinks that he just liked having her around him. knowing that later on when she leaves, he's going to have control over her. That like that was the kind of dude he was. It's definitely a power trip. Yeah. Yeah. This is just so much. Yeah, I've experienced someone who had the potential to spiral down this type of existence. It's terrifying. And like, I do believe there are people out there that like have it so much harder because like they are maybe not so lucky on how they look, or like they have like genetic disadvantages. And stuff like that. And it's just it is so sad, and I feel for you. But like, it's just so important to not get wrapped up in the cesspit that comes out of holding on to that hate and resentment. And that's exactly what those communities do, is they like, it's not just relating to one another. Once you start talking about violence, that's not just relating to one another anymore. That's conspiring together now, you know? And that's not what good people do. And I'm not saying that you're a bad guy for having those thoughts, because we all have unwelcome thoughts sometimes. And like, I have so many thoughts every day that I am not proud of. But like, there's two parts of you. And the first thought that you have is the thought that you are conditioned to have by your environment, by your peers, by your circumstance. But like the thought that you have once you've applied all of your feelings and logic to it, that's what you really feel. That's what you really think. That's your real thought. Those other ones are just ideas that are put in your head by your environment. And you're like, it's okay. It's okay if you think things that aren't normal sometimes, because a lot of people think things that they don't think are normal a lot of the time. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue help if you're not, like, if you're concerned about the unwelcome thoughts that you're having. You should always reach out for help. And I know that that's hard because mental health is so stigmatized. And I know that these conversations are really hard, and I know that it's even harder to own up to the maybe nucky stuff going on inside of us, but like, it's so important, right? So that you don't end up doing stuff like this, and the person that you are actually like clearly super wrapped up in and super invested in, that you care about, making them feel this scared. I just don't want any of you to feel alone and feel like you ever have to resort to anything like this. And I don't want any of you to have to experience anything like that. It's just so sad, and I care about you. I care about you. Oh, see you later, Rana. Nice job, Jubs. You are amazing, I think, is actually what's happening here. I'm unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
So at this point, my emotions were very mixed. I'm like, is he
How
trying
are your chickens
to
doing?
be
Was it a
funny, or is he
bloodbath?
trying to be poetically terrifying?
Was it
He
bad?
then sends me this. All art is to be, alas, a reflection of its creators.
Babies.
Humans who have been called to fill that void with art. For example, the mind-bending, thumb-bending video,
distract yourself
or the
with games and
alternative
movies.
art
Well,
of Emily Artful, who have,
you have
with
ways
this
of getting
art
a hold of
only
me if you
created
ever
a
want to
greater
just chit
void,
chat.
essentially saying like, you're just adding shit content to the internet. I also realized at this point that he is pretty much trolling with the mind-bending, thumb-bending reference. I don't even know what that is.
They've been doing good? Oh, good.
So I started to relax a little bit, and that's where I try to kind of tap into
Yay,
his
ticky
human
babies.
side, because again, I am still not 100% sure what his end game is here. What I say here is cut
Okay,
off.
I'm gonna
but
start
I probably said something
decreasing
along
now.
the lines of, I don't understand why
I feel
you
like
think
we
I'm
have
so
a pretty
evil. That
good
because I'm such a bad
base
person
going.
in your eyes, that everything I
Pausing.
create
3,
is
2,
somehow
1.
devoid of feeling. And
I will rewind this because I just talked over it a bunch. And I'm going to talk about the piece for a second here. Hold on. Oh no. Hi guys, how's it going? I'm sorry, I didn't expect this to be on. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I feel like we have a pretty good base going here, and we can start making it decrease towards the top. We're just gonna do maybe I think one every third, I don't know why, every third every third stitch, or every third like set of stitches, I guess. Like this is technically a V stitch, even though it is comprised of 2 double crochet stitches. Like, you know what I mean. As I get older, I learned that it takes too much energy to hold grudges. No, just concerned on self and letting go of negative feelings towards others. It's so freeing, right, Gans? I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful part of getting older. And like, I think that we experience more people and we learn how to be less judgmental because we know that there are all types, right? We accept all walks of life here in Doxy Chat. Unless you're a harasser, in which case, please go fuck yourself dry. I don't like you. Leave this place. Yeah. There's a lot of you out there that I disagree with, but I feel like we all have a nice enough discourse and respect for each other that we don't have to agree on everything. I just am able to know exactly how many shits I have to give. I think that's a really apt way of putting it. Okay, I'm gonna unpause. I keep fucking going off on tangents, and that's not creepy crochet. 3, 2, 1.
Or the alternative art of Emily Artful, who have with this art only created a greater void, essentially saying like you're just adding shit content to the internet. I also realize at this point that he is pretty much trolling with the mind-bending, thumb-bending reference.
Nothing.
I don't even know what that is. So I started to relax a little bit, and that's where I try to kind of tap into his human side, because again, I am still not 100% sure what his end game is here. What I say here is cut off, but I probably said something along the lines of, I don't understand why you think I'm so evil, that because I'm such a bad person in your eyes, that everything I create is somehow devoid of feeling. And then he sends, all art reflects the greater void of human limitations. Alas, Mother's Day cards and subscriber drawings are no exception. Only the mind-bending, thumb-bending video can transcend this void through its sheer bendery and avant-gardeness. So at this point, I'm like, okay, he's just mocking my content. Hey guys, Future Emily here again. Here is a snippet from that video Anthony posted discussing what it was like recording music while he lived in his car. In this snippet, he discusses why he's not like the other boys and why he can't get along with other musicians. Now, I don't mean to sound full of myself, but I do believe that he has me at the forefront of his mind when he is talking here. I know he's expressed these views to me in the past about other people, so I don't think he is only referring to me. But if you listen to his language, there's just a lot of hatred and anger and bitterness in his voice while he discusses this in a video that was supposed to be about him recording music in a car. Also, he brings up some really specific points that are kind of referenced in these Snapchats about like the ego and the desire to get like views and money getting in the way of making real art, which I think is so funny considering who his girlfriend is. But okay, hate to break it to you, Anthony, but I continued to make content that I liked regardless of the views. I'd pick up a sponsorship here and there to, you know, live. But your girlfriend or wife or whatever she is continued to shove her fake story times down her subscribers' throats until she realized she would get lots more views if she started sucking on the drama teat, and ended up turning her channel into one notch below a content farm because she features artwork that isn't even hers. Oh, you're doing it to support smaller creators, right? Shannon, is that right? No, I think you're doing it to pump out content faster than the sour milk flows from your lolcow udders. But fuck me, right? Because I'm the sellout because I chose to show my subscribers how I make cards for all the wonderful mothers in my life on Mother's Day. Sorry, the hypocrisy just flipped a pissed off switch in me. Here's the clip.
And at a certain point, I'm pretty relieved we decided to live out of our cars in a place like America where there's clean water available pretty much at all times. And, basic commodities like, cars and functioning streets and things like that. Like things that are just so ubiquitous you don't even notice at this point. It actually made it manageable. And again, it wasn't easy to get out of it by any stretch of the imagination. But, basic things like that seem to make it a bit more doable. And I think what's crazy to me at this point is the amount of musicians I've known who are way more technically proficient and more gifted than I was or will ever be. And they gave up. And whether it be from just they couldn't manage criticism or quote unquote making it didn't come fast enough. And it's like, man, all the
it's
incredible musical
happen.
ideas that could have been executed if they just kept doing it, and they could have just kept going.
And I'm obviously not saying that I'm some sort of success story or something like that, but because at a certain point I'm basically a nerd with a shitty mouth that makes a bunch of noise. So I do think I'm at least competent though, and I figure again, if I can manage it, why can't other people? I think a lot of musicians get lost in metrics and data and analytics and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, to some extent, that's important. But I think at another point, that's the ego talking. And the ego gets in the way of a lot of things. And it's just not really conducive to, a healthy creative environment, or at least, again, trying to build resiliency or competency or anything like this. Because I think a lot of that stuff, especially when you're starting, it's a big show. And it's like, again, not to say that it's not important and ignore all of it forever, but if some of these people just kept going, they could have built something great. And I think they could have come up with fantastic works of art and fantastic pieces of music. And at a certain point, again, whether it be the ego or, the show's not working or whatever, they just gave up. And it's like, I'd rather have built something with my hands than just sat there and, complain that things weren't going fast enough. So I don't know, that's what I got out of being homeless for a couple years, and bye.
I just wanted to show you guys that clip because I thought it was really interesting. Back to the Snapchat stuff. I felt a little bit more relaxed, like I could kind of try to tap into that softer part of him. So I said, well, I drew my subs because I know they'd like that. I made my mom a Mother's Day card because I love her. And I make every mom in my life one every year.
Oh my gosh, I love this emote.
Yeah, sometimes they aren't the artiest of arts, but there's something I and others enjoy. It's kind of that simple. I then try to tap into that human side a little bit more. I say, by the way, I didn't realize Shannon was your girlfriend until I started following her on Instagram.
1.
And she posted
Jurassic Zeo, LOL, I gotta come out of lurking to say Dramateat is hilarious. I really just like this person. I'm trying to stay objective, but the evidence is pretty damning. And like evidently everybody just fucking knows that it's this lady. I still think that I want to hear what Shannon has to say. But like I'm fairly convinced that this girl Emily has nothing to fucking like no reason to lie. I feel like it was brave of her to come forward against a big channel. I gotta come out of lurking to say Dramateat is hilarious. Yeah, that is funny. Also, sorry, I already said that. That's what I was responding to. I just wanted to say Jurassic Zeo, welcome. Everybody please join me in making Jurassic Zeo feel welcome. Just looked at current temp. Don't recommend. 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that is nucky. Plot twist, she's an actor. This is the longest of long con ARGs. Oh, man. Okay, unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
Posted about working with you. I kind of panicked and unfollowed her. No disrespect, of course. I just don't want any contact. And the reason I've not told her about you harassing me is because I really don't want to ruin your life. I genuinely want you to be happy. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It didn't feel right. Just don't come to my apartment and don't bother my family. You can keep making accounts and keep trying to prove that you're someone else. Keep telling me I'm awful or saying kill yourself. I have 100% undeniable proof it's you. You clicked the link. You gave me what I needed. I don't want to ruin your life, dude. I just want to be left alone. He says Mother's Day cards or shadow of the mind-bending, thumb-bending video. I may have to unsubscribe unless your content can reflect the profundity of the mind-bending, thumb-bending bending video with something that is not a lightweight craft or an update on your pregnancy. Again, I soften a little bit further and I say, lol, Andrew, okay, I will take that suggestion to heart. But can you, please stop scaring me? Call me all the names in the world. Criticize my work. That's fine. But I am very protective of my family. And then I say, also, what did you think of the perfect poem? Was that okay? I feel like I put a lot of heart into
Cringe.
that. And reading this disturbs me because I know myself. I hear and
I'm
read that
shocked.
fear. I'm just like, please, can you stop scaring me? Please. I'm begging him. But I'm trying so careful not to set him off at the same time. And then I'm literally trying to appease him. If I make better content, if I make content that you don't deem as devoid and of emotion or of heart,
like Colorado.
that isn't unacceptable to you, will you leave me alone? That is how this is reading to me. He then says, Andrew knows not of the spiritual implications of the mind-bending, thumb-bending video. He is but a prole in that sense, trapped in the mechanisms of day-to-day life. Then he says, revamping your channel into a mind-bending, thumb-bending video
Trying to
parody account
pretend
is
that
the
this
only
is
way,
some
I'm afraid.
savant
It's
minor
the
is
only
just
known method
another
of putting
kind
the
of
art
creepy,
back in
man.
Artful. Then later on, he says, every star in our galaxy will simultaneously explode if you fail to take what I have suggested to heart. And again, very trolly, but at the same time, it's still a veiled threat. Because this person is so unpredictable and unstable. Do I take that as him being a troll, or do I take that as a threat? I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about how I said I had undeniable proof that Andrew was the person stalking me, that he clicked a link and I was able to trace his IP, because this was the first time that I had done that. Now, after the Twitter incident where Andrew accused me of supposedly buying subs,
Shit.
I was
I
very
haven't been
suspicious
skipping
that
stitches.
my stalker up until that point had been Andrew. So I laid out a trap where I sent one of these profiles a link pretending to be another separate hater of mine. And on that link, I attached an IP tracker. And because we had mutual friends, I knew exactly
No,
where
I needed to
Andrew
get
and
smaller.
Shannon lived. So I sent over the bait. He clicked on
I
the
could've
link,
just
and
done
what do you know,
another
the
row,
IP address
but,
took me
it's fine.
directly to where they were living. What's interesting is back when my Facebook account was hacked, I wasn't aware that Andrew was doing any of this, right? But Facebook had sent me an email basically saying, here is where the unknown login came from. The IP address pointed to the city where Andrew was from and where
We'll skip
he
every
resided
4.
in at the time. And I didn't think anything of it because it was 2013. I was 21. My world was small, and all my friends came from this specific area. So it could have been anyone, really. But when everything started falling into place, it was like an anvil hit me. Of course it was Andrew. You've got to understand, it took a really long time for me to really figure out what was going on. For the longest time, I thought I had 2 completely unrelated separate stalkers that were not related to one another, and that they were just harassing me. And this was part of the YouTube environment. I just kept thinking, I'm not relevant enough to have 2 completely unrelated stalkers. This can't be right. Now this makes so much more sense. How they had the time and the resources to make so many sock puppet accounts. I mean, just tons. And I'm frustrated with myself that I didn't document more before 2017. The truth of the matter is I didn't want to see this shit. I didn't want to interact with these fucking sock puppet accounts that were bullying me and shaming me and fucking trying to rally people against me. So I would just delete and block and delete and block. And finally, I consulted with a lawyer and they're like, don't do that. Save everything. To the best of your ability, you need to save everything. And after everything, I consulted with the lawyer. I went back to the police. I even hired a private
I want to
investigator for a short
scream.
time to do some digging. I, 1, ran out of money, and 2, was advised by the lawyer not to take this to court, that it would be a lengthy court battle, and it's not like justice will be served, because it's really hard to prove that Shannon and
I want to
Andrew ran
scream
all those sock
into a
puppet accounts
balloon and let it
because there
fly
were so
away
many of
like
them.
the
We
last
fully
fuck I
acknowledge
had
that
to
probably
give.
not all of those comments were coming from Andrew and Shannon. But when you've been stalked as long as I have, you can detect your stalker's language to the point where I could start to differentiate the voices between Andrew and Shannon. And what's really interesting is it was definitely Andrew in the beginning. Like, I really think Andrew just roped Shannon into this mean girl obsession with me. And Shannon kind of became the mastermind over time. I could see the transition from Andrew into Shannon. Now, whereas Andrew was more kind of threatening and domineering, not that Shannon wasn't, not that Shannon didn't love to make vague threats against me. Shannon was more catty and mean girl. That all changed when the Rewired Soul drama happened. And in case you guys didn't know, there used to be this channel, I don't know if he's still around, called The Rewired Soul. And in the beginning, he was making videos just talking about mental health, and he was in recovery like I was, and he made some pretty good videos at first. I befriended him. Then he started talking about other people's mental health without their consent, and it just all went downhill. And when I tried to hold him accountable and be like, dude, like, this isn't okay, he blamed everybody else but himself. It was just an entire mess, and I definitely regret befriending him. But since I had publicly, I think I had just tweeted at him a few times, so people were aware that him and I had talked. During that whole debacle, I got a DM on Twitter from someone named Datboy, and they say, "Uh-oh, dear, looks like you're friends with a fraud. Do you want to be hurt in the worst possible way? Somebody is a bad mommy. Maybe we let everyone know how bad of a mommy you are. Keep telling people you're sober, girl. Maybe if you say it enough, people will believe it. Have fun endorsing your fraud, druggy bitch. Have fun faking your sobriety for your mindless followers. They believe you, but no one else does, my dear. You bad mommy. I've got receipts, druggy bitch," with a winky face. Hey guys,
Jesus.
Future Emily here again. I know you're probably thinking, how do you know all these comments and DMs and things are coming from Shannon and Anthony? How do you know they're not just regular hate comments? The part of the art community that I belong to, you know, with Monique and Bailey and Hello Alice and Doodle Date, Super Ray Dizzle, Casey Golden, Ace of Clay, I could go on and on. That part of the art community I feel is a generally really positive one. It doesn't mean we don't have our fair share of drama sometimes. It doesn't mean that we don't have hate comments. They just look different from, say, the gaming community or even the art commentary community. Let me put it this way. When Shannon was preoccupied with something else, probably traumatizing another creator, it was very easy to tell because I would get far few comments wanting me to go check out Creepshow Art because she's copying me. I get far few comments telling me, hey, look, I've got all your videos archived. I'd get far few comments being like, you're a neglectful mother, or you're trying to shove your kids down our throats. I get far few comments that start with, does anyone else hate when Emily does blank? Because these comments always came in clusters, and the accounts that they came from were usually pretty barren. Maybe they'd have a couple playlists here and there. Extra points if that account came into existence within a month of commenting. Not only that, but I'm sure you've already been able to tell that Anthony has a very specific way that he types, a very specific way that he phrases things.
So does
he likes
Shannon.
to wax poetic with a hint of trolling in there. Shannon is typically a lot more long-winded. She likes to make a lot of excuses to try to cover her bases. The one thing they have in common in their phrasing, though, is they're incredibly condescending. They like to talk down.
Liar
they like to shame.
I've ever known was a liar.
Me, for
you
instance.
know what I mean?
200,000 views isn't viral, Judd. Snarky, condescending, patronizing. He wants you to know that you're pathetic. Whereas Shannon's language is a lot more overt. Have you guys seen Emily's shitty jewelry and charms? Like, do people actually buy these? I also think Shannon really gets a kick out of seeming like she's helping you and being a good person, when in reality she's just reciting all the dirt that she has on you just to remind you that she could bury you in a second. But if you try to speak up for yourself, she's like, oh my God, you took it the wrong way. Wow. You'll see a few really great examples of that later on in this video, but I'd also highly recommend checking out Hopeless Peach's video on the matter. Peaches shows a few really good examples of her trying to calmly stand up for herself, only to be met with gaslighting from Shannon. I'm sorry I keep popping in
that's
here
a
like
new
this,
one that
but
we
I
need
feel
to
like
watch.
this specifically is something
Remind
that needed to be
me of
said,
that.
so you know what to look
That's
for going
not on our
forward.
list.
You can even see the shift from Anthony to Shannon as the years go on. Now, my addiction was something that I think fueled Andrew and Shannon's obsession with me. I think they looked down on me for it. And I think they thought that made me less than. I think they thought that made me like a party girl, which is, I mean, the opposite of what my addiction was like. And I think that kind of gave them like a free pass in their mind to treat me like shit. So it was something a lot of their sock puppet accounts like to bring up, trying to disprove my sobriety. Also, I don't know if you guys are noticing kind of a speech pattern here, but when they talk to me, it's very condescending, it's very snarky, accusatory a lot of the time, and threatening, just like a very veiled, vague threat. Except in this instance, it's not veiled. It is a direct threat. I'm going to hurt you in the worst way. And I interpreted that because they kept saying mommy, mommy, to mean they were either
really
going to hurt
Bumble
my
Kitty
children
store.
or find a way to get my children taken away from me. Because this is not the first instance.
Am I going to
that
need to
Shannon
watch
has
out?
alluded
I'm not
me
going to
being
need to
a
watch out,
bad
am I?
mother. Many years ago, I made a few videos that I have since deleted that were just totally for fun. It was like kind of a silly, not like alternate reality game, but I changed my channel for Halloween. And I did this thing with my, at the time, I think he was like a year old, my first son, Beanie, let's call him Beanie. And we did this really fun, like, literal like a collaboration between mommy and baby, and it was about like how he's got the
Could you
spawn
fucking
of
imagine?
Satan inside
But
of him,
I
and we
feel
have
like
to
that's what this
exorcise
is.
him. And
That's what this situation is, though. That's what this situation is, though. Nah, her kingdom is TikTok and Instagram, but on those platforms, she has many eyes and ears. It's scary. Are you okay? Like, is anybody like, is she after you? Do we need to raise an army? If someone steals your creepy crochet, you know it's Shannon with the creepy crochet. That's funny. Like, is she fucking with you, though? I'll be mad. Well, apparently this chick had a lot of people fooled. Like, a lot of people that I know of, that I've heard of. You know what I mean? Like, she was friends with, like, Loey Lane and Tamimi, who are all, like, middle-sized YouTube like, way bigger than me. Bigger than I ever have been. But, like, yeah, anyway, sorry. They were all involved with this lady, apparently. It's crazy the names that I've seen associated with this. Okay, I'm going to unpause. 3, 2, 1.
if you guys were around then, you know it was totally harmless, super cute. My baby and I had lots of fun. And it wasn't like this thing that I was like trying to get so much money for. I knew it was quote unquote off brand. It was silly. It was
that's
cute.
gross.
I'm sure it exists
People
somewhere.
who use
I'm
their
sure somebody
audience
made a
like that,
copy.
there's a special
And if
place
you
in
watch it,
hell
it was
for
just
them.
dumb and campy and fun.
Yuck.
And I'm glad I did it. I'm
Legit
still glad I did it. We had
yuck.
so much fun making it, and I've shown my son since, and he just thinks it's the funniest thing. But for some reason, I just kept getting the same
That's
comment
some
over and
Keemstar
over
shit.
and over.
That's
oh my God, aren't you guys
despicable.
so like grossed out that she's trying to monetize her kids? Like, oh my gosh, she's just shoving her kids down our throat. And I'm sorry, I do one thing. I did that one thing, that little series. It was like 3 episodes.
I look like
with
a
my
goth
son,
chick
who,
from Friday
I mean,
the
My kids
13th.
are my life. Like, I think about them constantly. They are my greatest inspiration, my greatest motivation.
detest
They have saved me.
Keemstar.
My babies are my everything. And so to have that like accusation lobbed at me was frustrating. And then on my old Redbubble account, I had made a shirt with my son's face on it, and he has a little lollipop, and I think it says "One Cool Dude." I
got
never
the hair
made
for
that
it, okay.
public.
Okay.
Like, I never advertised it as merch. I put that in my Redbubble shop and ordered 2 of those shirts, one to send to my dad and one to send to my best friend because obviously they love my son. I didn't ever advertise this, ever, ever, ever. But Shannon took this and was just hell-bent on being like, look, she's trying to monetize her kids. She's trying to get money, make money off her kids. Like, I'm so sick of these pregnancy updates. It might be really hard for you to see your channel as anything but a money-making machine, Shannon, but that's not what my channel is. That's why I did the cute little series with my son. That's why I did pregnancy updates, is because my channel is more to me than just a fucking money machine. I know things like that don't get that many views,
Let's
but
see how this
I
goes. We might
don't
have to frog
care.
this. I'm
I
just kind of
genuinely
winging it
enjoy
because
sharing
I
that
don't
little
want
piece
to
of
look
my
at
life
a
with you
pattern
guys
because
every
I
now and
don't
again.
know.
I love being a mom.
What do you
That is
awful
part
women
of
want?
my
3, 2,
life.
1,
That is part of
pause.
my existence.
Thank you so much, Beauty Pie. How are you? Everybody go follow Beauty Pie. Beauty Pie is a Dead by Daylight streamer, if I recall correctly. It's been a while. Hi. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm Zero Doxy. I'm a disgusting piece of trash human being. I guess we decided today that my whole pitch is I am a creepy guy. That's my shit. We are doing what I call creepy crochet, where you watch me crochet and we dive down a creepy rabbit hole and react to it together. So welcome, get comfy. And right now, this is the Emily Artful and Creepshow Art stalking situation that we are learning about. I'm sorry that I look like this the first time you ever saw me. Hi. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Existence. So I'm happy to share it with you guys in bits and pieces. But if I do that even a little bit, Shannon would just jump out of the woodwork to either accuse me of being neglectful, abusive, or trying to monetize my kids like I was fucking daddy of 5 or something. I just thought that was the most ridiculous claim. If you look at her lolcow post, she really likes to paint me as a really bad mother. For instance, she says, Emily Artful uploaded 2 videos trying to explain her absence, when in reality she left because her views are terrible. Before she left, she was tweeting and deleting about how bad her views were because no one wants a podcast of her talking with other artists. People want fake story times from her, and that's it. That's why none of her other content breaks 100,000 views. So she makes a video saying she almost killed her child 2 times because she got him sick, then when no one cared, pretended it was creator burnout. That is just a flat out lie. And this is what is so disturbing. She would watch my videos and then go to lolcow, it seems, and just lie about what was in the videos because most people can't even be bothered to go and watch and make sure what she's saying is the truth. And pretty much everything she has literally ever said about me is exactly that. She takes a sliver of truth to make it believable. So she takes something that I may have said before in a video or tweeted out before, and then she lies. She attaches lies to it because most people could not be bothered to go back and check. So they move on with a really negative opinion of me. And that's exactly what she wants.
That's really
the video
scary.
she's referencing, I posted back in July of 2019.
But
it's
that's
called
how
These
you get
Past
caught.
2 Months
Thank goodness
Animated.
thank goodness she got caught. Is my cat here?
My little
No.
Bubby's character
Not
like
right at the
stressed
moment.
out with the words too much over it. So no, it's not like I posted that video and then all of a sudden nobody cared, so I backtracked and said it was something different. The whole video was to express that I was burnt out. Not just creator burnout, but just burnt out in general. And no, Shannon, I did not almost kill my kid 2 times by deliberately getting him sick. What the fuck? What video were you watching? Sorry, I started to lose my cool for 2 seconds, but I didn't try to deliberately get my kid sick and kill him twice. That is such a bizarre accusation. But again, just constant accusations and comments about me being an abusive mother, me being a neglectful mother, me being a terrible mother. And if it's one thing that I'm confident in, if it could be nothing else, I will stand on the tops of the highest mountain and say it at the top of my lungs. I know I am a good mom. So I think it's important you guys remember that Shannon likes to take a sliver of
Fucking
truth so
rain
things
queen.
seem credible and then sprinkle in all her lies. This will be important later. On October 24th, 2018, I posted a video called My Problem with a Big YouTuber. Don't go looking for it. It's private. It caused way too much trouble. And for people waiting on bated breath, no, that video was not about Shannon. I have never posted a video about Shannon or Andrew. I've been way too terrified
Shannon's gonna
to poke the
interpret
bear.
it
But
as
yeah, I
about
ended up
her for
privating the video
sure.
because over time it caused a lot of turmoil, especially for my friends and colleagues who were
Guarantee
completely innocent, especially Kat Vok. I love Kat Vok. She's talented.
I'm not a
intelligent.
mom.
She makes great videos. Go check her out. But for some reason, people were targeting her specifically. Now, there were a few legitimate, real little YouTube accounts commenting and being like, hey, is this Creepshow Art? But I would say 50% of the people saying Creepshow Art were definitely sock puppets. She had the audacity to even use Lily Singh as a handle, which I thought was weird. And she'd comment stuff like, Creepshow Art, more like crap show art, am I right? But anyway, of course, Shannon had to react to her sock puppet accounts accusing her on her Instagram story, apparently. At this point in the saga, I kept Shannon at arm's length. I didn't really
Before
want
I tell
anything
this, I
to
don't
do
want
with
to
her.
shock anyone.
I just acknowledged that she was another art YouTuber that exists.
I am
and
suspicious
that was
of
with
that,
my
but
abusive
go on.
ex-boyfriend. I wasn't 100% sure if she was in on it or she was actually also a victim. But I was definitely leaning towards the idea that Shannon was involved somehow, because I noticed over the years that my stalker's language sort of changed, how they spoke to me changed, but that snarkiness, the accusations, that all kind of stayed the same. So at the beginning, I don't know if you've noticed, but it was like very scary, like, you know, like someone who's gonna shoot up a school.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, a little bit more of like a masculine, domineering, like vague, aloof, but terrifying kind of voice.
Pausing.
Into
3,
a more
2, 1.
catty, mean girl.
Someone just put a Cobra heavy fireworks that someone put against my door. Ik Beniktak, are you like okay? Do you need to call the cops? If you're in danger, you need to leave my stream and call 911. Are you okay? You already did that? Okay. You're safe? Are you safe? Because if you are not safe, you need to leave my stream and get safe. They came just still shaken up? Okay. I just want to be sure that yes, I am safe. Okay, I am so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that I was stern, but that's just important, right? I am glad to hear that you're okay. I'm glad to hear that you are safe. I'm terribly sorry that you had to have that kind of evening. That is bullshit, and you didn't deserve it, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe you're a murderer. I don't know anything about you, but in case you didn't deserve it, I said the words. Okay, I'm unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
Girl bitchy voice. So that led me to start to think that maybe Shannon was involved. So because of all this uncertainty and me not knowing what role Shannon played in all of this, I didn't follow her on social media, but I didn't block her either. I wanted that line of communication accessible in the event that something, you know, terrible happened, then I could confront / let her know what's going on. Because again, didn't know if she was involved, didn't know if she was totally oblivious. So of course her Instagram story totally went unnoticed by me. And if she messaged me with one of her sock puppets, well, I didn't see it because at this point I had made it publicly known that my DMs were closed. Didn't even check message requests. Why? Because Andrew and Shannon have literally changed my brain chemistry because of their incessant harassment. Before I would get a new message from someone I didn't know and I would be excited. Now when I get a message from someone I don't know, I feel deep, sickening anxiety.
Pausing.
Shannon's post reads,
3,
the people linking
2,
me to Emily
1.
Artful's video, I've seen.
Holy shit, like big time. I agree. It wasn't my experience with stalkers that changed my brain chemistry in that way though, as much as it was depression and anxiety. Just need to wait for people to come and fix the damage and not want to sit alone, so logged on to your stream. Yeah, you are so super welcome here. We're talking about creepy stalker situations, so I don't know if this is maybe the right stream for you. You are so welcome here though. And like please feel free to talk about it at whatever length you need to. And like I can't state enough how sorry I am that happened to you. But like, I definitely understand what she's saying, what Emily is saying right now. Like the whole, I used to get excited about like getting a call or a text message from somebody that I didn't know, or like if there was a knock on the door that I didn't know the person, like I didn't know somebody was coming. I fully understand. I fully understand and agree with her, like that does change after trauma, right? And it's really sad. It just distances you from the rest of humanity. And these assholes stole that joy from her. I am just, that's devastating. Anyway, unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
Seen it, and no, it wasn't me. Plays Shaggy in background. I've said multiple times that I won't collaborate with other YouTubers.
All I did was
because
be
I
a
don't
building
enjoy
manager.
The implications
No, I'm
people
so
get from it.
sorry.
Even if this isn't what the person is
So you
thinking at
didn't
the
be a
time,
murderer
collaborating
then?
with someone is a business move. You gain from that partnership. And I never want to be in a position where someone thinks I owe my following, money, and success because of someone else. That's gross. Also, less exciting, and something I might open
Sorry, I
up
just
more
punched
about,
the
but for
camera.
about 12 years now, I've been harassed online by the girl who catfishes me. I know it's her because she ended up admitting to it last year when I called her out on it, saying it was because she was stressed and didn't have another outlet for it. Also, she felt betrayed because I stopped responding to her email.
Rewinding. Okay, so in this post, Shannon is talking about Emily's "my problem with a big YouTuber" thing. Why is she suddenly talking about a stalker that she supposedly fucking has? What? Like, unless you are stalking her and you are trying to make it look like she's stalking you or something so that she can't accuse you, or like, I don't know. Did we miss that she was getting this on dating sites? I haven't heard anything about dating sites yet. To be honest, I did kill a mosquito once. You know, I think that we can forgive you for that. I think that's okay. I don't think that means you deserve to be assaulted. Anyway, this is really, really just damning. Ugh. This is revolting. I'm really grossed out. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
People get from it. Even if this isn't what the person is thinking at the time, collaborating with someone is a business move.
Hold on,
you
sorry.
gain from that partnership. And I never want to be in a position where someone I don't know, I feel deep, sickening anxiety. Shannon's post reads, the
Can I ask
people
what you're
linking
making?
me to Emily Artful's video.
Making a dragon egg dice bag for like D&D, for like, I forget what like a set of dice is called. There's a name for it. Headed to bed now. Have a good night. Hey, you have a good night too, Sleep Ninja. Do your duty. I know that this is work for you. You're going to sleep, so you gotta be a ninja now. I'm sorry. That wasn't funny. I'm sorry. Okay, bye. Have a good night. Yes, there is a name for a set of dice. It includes like a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, and a D20. Like, that is the full set. I don't remember what it's called. Dices. The D Club is none of that. Okay. The D Club makes me think of a Game Grumps fucking story. Never mind. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. 3, 2, 1.
I've seen it, and no, it wasn't me. plays Shaggy in background. I've said multiple times that I won't collaborate with other YouTubers because I don't enjoy the implications people get from it. Even if this isn't what the person is thinking at the time, collaborating with someone is a business move. You gain from that partnership. And I never want to be in a position where someone thinks I owe my following, money, and success because of someone else. That's gross. Also, less exciting, and something I might open up more about, but for about 12 years now,
This is
I've been
so
harassed
fucking
online
suspicious.
by the girl who catfishes me. I know it's her because she ended up admitting to it last year when I called her out on it, saying it was because she was stressed and didn't have another outlet for it. Also, she felt betrayed because I stopped responding to her emails after a while. Because of her harassing me, my boyfriend, my friends, and sometimes going as far as to try to get me fired, I don't trust people very easily online. Isn't that a coinky dink? That right there is the most passive-aggressive shit I have
It's
ever read,
polyhedral
and
die set
also
is what.
one of
Yep,
the many
yep, yep, yep.
breadcrumbs that she started leaving behind.
This
that
is
she had
sick.
a quote-unquote stalker named Amy. I think it's funny that she
And
picked the name
transparent
Amy. I
as
think she
hell.
deliberately picked a name that was very close to mine, so that if I ever came out with allegations,
I'm
she
pausing.
could be like,
3,
"See, I even
2,
chose
1.
Amy because it's."
How did she not get caught faster? I'm sorry, Emily, I stand, but you're kind of dumb if you like didn't realize by now. Right? Like, I don't mean to talk shit. Like that okay, that's not nice, but like, and I didn't live it. Maybe, okay, I'm sorry. She's obviously presenting this as all the evidence being put forward, and like I'm getting a different experience of it than she had. So like, I shouldn't judge, but like, I feel like this is basically an admission. Okay, anyway, 3, 2, 1.
Sounds like Emily. And of course she picked all the things.
Yeah, exactly.
that she
Bubble
did
Kitty
to
store.
me,
Yeah.
So then I couldn't even come out if I wanted to, because then it would seem like I was copying her instead of her copying me. Now, the reason I think she started leaving breadcrumbs when she did is because that Snapchat exchange that I had with Andrew, I obviously screenshotted all of that. What does Snapchat do when you screenshot? It notifies the other party. So at that point, they would have been made aware that I was compiling evidence against them. I had also stated publicly, whenever I had just mentioned my stalker in passing, that the way I am trying to protect myself is saving
We have to go back
everything.
very
now,
far.
because I didn't see Shannon's Instagram story right away, she ended up DMing me herself on Instagram. Now, because
only
we had
did
that
single
conversation about her
crochets
potentially
here.
changing the name of her story time series,
And
the
here.
message thread
No,
that
those are
Shannon and I
doubles, they're just
had
really
was
tight.
not in message
I only did
requests.
single ones
Therefore, I
here.
was notified about it. Shannon says, "Gah, I'm
What an
sorry. I
idiot.
went on a rant from your video. For some reason, people are trying to insert me into it, which I get because I am kind of a bitch. There's a fucking girl on here / YouTube and now Twitter who is just fucking relentless with this shit, and it's just goddamn annoying at this point. So I was just putting my 2 cents out there. Nothing but respect for you and your video. You're fucking dope as hell, and I'd never try to step on your toes." Really, Shannon? Also, props to you for not saying the
gall.
name. That's a fucking classy move, my dude. You're 100% more mature than I am. That's another thing. I notice a lot of the like comments. If you guys can find like YouTube comments that are really like shitty and bitchy and have the word "my guy" or "my dude," like that is Shannon. That is absolutely 100% Shannon. I think she realized that that was like outing her over time. So she even left a comment at one point on one of my videos referencing me saying "my dude," because I've said it maybe once or twice ever. And she said, "Ugh, like people who say 'my dude' like have an IQ of like 4." It was something really catty and terrible. So
Hi,
I just
Sperry,
thought that was
how
kind
are
of
ya?
funny. And after I read those messages, I just couldn't take it anymore. My adrenaline right
I-
now is literally like
Ugh.
just so high
This
because I
is so
remember that
gross.
exact moment. My hand is literally shaking. I just feel like I could lift a car right now. I couldn't take it anymore. So I finally just decided I need to confront her because everything was falling into place. I knew exactly what she was doing. This exchange is going to be long. It is 41 screenshots long, so I'm going to try to get through it quickly, but I just want you to pay attention to how easily she manipulated me, took advantage of my kindness, of my willingness to give her the benefit of the doubt, and notice how she uses her fake stalker story to try to get some sympathy from me, weaken me, and then further manipulate me. Also, apologies in advance. On the bottom where my empty text bubble should be, it says, because like I said, I don't want to hurt or ruin anyone's lives, for every single screenshot, and there's like Shannon's little bubble above it. I don't know why that happened, but it's there, and for the sake of authenticity and time, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in. Are you the one that's been stalking me, or is it Andrew? We can be candid now because I know it's one of you. Those fake accounts you've been making have
Oh
led
yeah,
me right
scary.
to
Also, that's
Oregon.
scary, and I'm
I
sorry that
suspected it
happened
was
to
him at
you today
first when
because
he went on
that
a spree
doesn't
on his
that
main
comment
account on
doesn't just
Twitter, trying to convince
come
my
out of
followers I
nowhere.
bought my subscribers and my views. Almost immediately after he did that, a mysterious new Twitter account accused me of the same thing, also with an IP from that area in Oregon. When I first started to get harassed, you both must still have been in San Jose because that IP came from somewhere in San Jose. But at the time, I had no idea who it was. But now, over time, in order to protect myself and my family, I decided to get smarter. So I just really don't know if it's you or him. Either way, I've been giving all this information to the police, including the more accurate IP from that Lily Singh account. All I ask is to be left alone by you and your boyfriend. It's been 8 years. I also forgot to mention that I baited that Lily Singh account into clicking a link with an IP tracker that led me straight to their new location because they had since moved. Now, interestingly enough, one of the IPs that I had tracked to where they had lived before was from a library. Come to find out that when Shannon and Andrew were living in their car, they had used a library for their internet access, which I now know from watching some of Shannon's older videos.
Because when you live in a car, you don't have very basic things. Like, you don't have a kitchen, and you don't have a living room, and you don't have a bed, and you don't have a bathroom. So you have to kind of find ways to make up for those things. So for a kitchen, you know, you can fool yourself and say, oh, I'm going to have salads at Walmart. I'll just go and eat really healthy. But most of the time you're having Taco Bell. For a living room, you have a Starbucks or a library because you can sit there essentially the entire day and no one cares.
So what our schedule basically was on a day-to-day basis was basically to get food at about 9 a.m. or so and make our way over to the library and set up so we could essentially work till about 2 or 3 and then get food again and then come back and work till about, I don't remember if it was 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. when it closed. But we basically worked there all day.
So that's an even stronger confirmation for me that, in fact, the person who was stalking me all this time was definitely Shannon and Andrew. Shannon says, literally neither, dude. I say, then why did your boyfriend go off on me randomly for, quote-unquote, buying subs and views? Like, from his actual account. This happened almost a year ago. Shannon says, look, honestly, I'm sorry from what you've gone through. I don't know you all that well.
That says
But accusing us of
honestly
doing
counter.
shit we don't know about isn't cool. Like, Andrew already told me that you thought he did it, and honestly, I didn't worry about it because it didn't seem like that big of a deal. Also, about the sub buying thing, I got message about that as well. Like 5 accounts messaged me, and I know they messaged other art YouTubers. They also messaged me edits of shit about you from before the Emily Artful account. Shit that is literally none of my business. That makes no fucking sense.
Oh,
Why would
never
this
mind. No,
person
I'm
who has
not.
shit on
She's
me
saying it.
send stuff to Shannon, but no other commentary drama channel? If they really had shit on
Okay,
me,
that's a
don't
good
you
point,
think
and
they
not what I
would
was
really
gonna
want to
say.
try to get it out there? No, this is just 1, a cover-up, and 2, this is her in a very roundabout, sneaky way. This is how manipulative she is, telling me that she still has those photographs of me. Hey, do you know those photographs where you're in compromising outfits and positions, and in some of those pictures you're a minor? Yes, I still have those. I said, look, all I am saying is I want to be left alone. If it's not you, then great. But I just find it strange. I have 0 contact with Andrew, and then he just explodes at me randomly from his personal account with his name attached to it. Shannon says, I feel ya, but I can guarantee it's not him. If you want to Skype or FaceTime, I'm up for it, because literally I have nothing to hide on this end. Yeah, you do, Shannon. Yeah, you do. And with that being said, Andrew has a trollish sense of humor. He thought it was funny, but I guess it crossed a line. I said, really? I don't believe that, because literally no other art YouTuber has said anything about that to me. I'm friends with a handful of them. Why just you? Please understand why this sounds strange. Shannon says, no, I get it. I had screenshots from them that they had sent to other people, and then when I went to report them, they deleted the account. I said, yeah, I get it would be like him if I had had any contact with him. He wasn't even following me at the time. It was 100% random. 100%. It was very confusing to me. I want you guys to remember what she says here. Shannon says their name was also like Filter. They also had like a sob story about how you wronged them once upon a time. Again, none of this was my business. And Andrew told me about how you were harassed back in the day. So I just thought it was another one of those anime fanboys who wanted attention. Again, he thought it was funny. They had sent him shit and we don't have the time to mess with you, honest to God. We've been homeless on and off, working shitty jobs and working on our art a lot. Like, we don't have time to obsess over you and your really cute family. I want to say no offense, but like, that's not offensive. Shannon continues, I get where you're coming from with the accusation.
So gross! Unpausing.
I have been harassed by a girl who catfished me for about 12 years now. I find that really interesting because 4 months after this, she made her I was stalked, for 8+ years story time. I know exactly how long I have been stalked by you, Shannon. I think it's weird that you put 8+ in your title when you tell me 12 years. Why would you just
south
say
_ east
I have been
_ of
stalked
_
for
my
12
_
years
equator?
in your title?
How are you?
I don't
It's
know.
good to see
I
you.
just thought that inconsistency was interesting. Shannon continues, to the point where she tried to convince my mom I was a cam girl and photoshopped nudes of me. See, I find things like this interesting because I was a cam girl for a short period of time. And I also, by Shannon or Andrew, had my nudes sent back to me, photoshopped, like in a mocking way, making fun of my body. Shannon continues, I wouldn't do that to someone else. It doesn't feel great, and it led me to trying to kill myself back in the day. Shannon and Andrew absolutely knew the anguish and the stress and the anxiety they inflicted upon me from stalking me, and they knew that it drove me to the brink of suicide a number of times. So I can't speak to Shannon's mental health and what she has been through, but when she brought that up, it literally felt like she was taking a burning hot poker and stabbing me in an open wound. Shannon continues, I can't really explain why Andrew is as random as he is, though. That one's a mystery. I think he just thought it would be funny. It wasn't, but he'd never intentionally try to hurt you. He's got a lot of respect for you. Like, you've collaborated with him in his music.
Pausing.
You know how important
3,
that is to him.
2,
He's
1.
not the type of person.
She's saying too much. She's saying too much. Like, why is she saying all of this stuff instead of not me? Why didn't Emily know? Why didn't Emily know now? This is so disgusting. She sounds like every liar I have ever known. She sounds like every compulsive liar I have ever known. This is so, this is like nausea. I like legit feel a little bit sick. All right, anyway. She talking herself into jail. Like, it sounds like, I mean, it sounds like she's had her comeuppance. It sounds like she is real and truly canceled. But like, woof. I'm pretty convinced. Like, this is not the way an innocent person talks. Hindsight is 2020. I'll give you that. Like, of course, it's more obvious because we like we're viewing it through this lens, but don't speak of 2020. I love that you censored it. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I went to the door 5 times already because I was thinking I heard something. Ugh. Ich bin ich talk. I feel so bad. I feel so bad that you have to sit there all jumpy. Are you sure you're safe? But I'm like worried about you. All right, I'm pausing. 3, 2, 1.
Person who lets someone in like that and then switches on them, you know? If that makes sense. I feel like it does. I don't know. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, now that I look back and know who was harassing me, it makes me feel sick to my stomach that I collaborated with Andrew on his music video and on his music and things like that. I think it gave him some sort of sick pleasure to know that like I could just waltz in his room and work with him professionally, just feel totally comfortable having a nice chat with him after we were done working. And then I go home and he's got this immense control over me. I think he got off on that. I said, I'm going to be filing a restraining order. I just have too much evidence to believe otherwise. I will not be pressing any charges
after,
because,
when
like I
she was
said, I
talking
don't want
about
to hurt
the
or
song.
ruin anyone's lives. I'm just a little afraid now that I'm a mother. I want to protect my children and my family at any cost. The restraining order will prevent Andrew and you by association of IP from contacting me, but that's okay because we don't really need to talk anyway. So if
Okay.
it's not you,
That
you
makes
have
me
nothing to
feel a
worry
little
about because a
better.
private investigator will locate
Not
the
that how
address
I
and the
feel
new IP.
fucking
And if
matters.
it's not you guys, then the
No,
hunt
sorry.
continues. Here's where I start
Jeez.
to show a little bit of doubt and weakness, and she just totally pounces on it. I said, look, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. I know I seem crazy, but it's been 8 years of harassment, and I have an obligation not only to myself, but to my children. That's why I've done nothing up until this point. I didn't care that it was just happening to me, but my kids are my whole life. Shannon said, no, I completely understand. I said, I'm sorry. I know I sound insane if you really have nothing to do with this, but I just have to go with my gut. Again, if it's really not you guys, then that will prove itself. Shannon said, do what you need to do, but it isn't me. It isn't Andrew. That's all I can vouch for. If anything, he's more confused as to why you think it's him when he had you in a video where
She
you were
doth
being harassed, and he got
protest
shit
too
from it,
much.
you know? So this is the second time she brings up me working with Andrew while I was being harassed, and she uses it as a way to kind of clear their name. What I find odd is that she remembers those two things were happening simultaneously, because if I'm really just like, yeah, just my boyfriend's ex, like whatever, I don't think that would be something that would be in the forefront of her memory. I just think it's weird that she was able to recall it so easily and use it as a way to like clear their name. And also this kind of just confirms that Andrew got sick pleasure, or both of them got sick pleasure from me coming over and working with him while they secretly harass me online, because she remembers it so readily. Just some food for thought. Shannon says, and I feel ya. I really do. I get where you're coming from on this, but no one here has the time to mess with you. I said, yeah, I promise you there are things that don't make sense to me either. There are several things that make me think it's not Andrew, but there are just a lot of uncanny coincidences, and it may just be that, coincidences. But this is the route I've decided to take, and the truth is, even though I'm mostly convinced, I still respect his intelligence, his art, your intelligence, your art, your lives. I don't want to get in anyone's way. I just want to make stupid art videos for my internet friends. I want to live in peace. I can take the hate, but I can't take the fear of losing my job and not being able to support my kids or losing my kids. Shannon said, honestly, there's no way for me to prove it's not me, but it'll sort itself out. No, I completely understand that point. You have a family. As someone who's sensitive issues, that's a huge deal for me. I would never try to hurt someone like that, but there is no way you can actually know that for sure, because you don't know me.
Yuck. Trying
And
to get
then because of what she
sympathy.
mentioned, I start
Trying to get
soften a little bit,
sympathy from the
have some
person you're
sympathy for her,
stalking.
and I say,
Barf.
yeah, I know, Shannon. I know you don't, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry. If I'm wrong, I'm so, so sorry. But I just have to do this. When I first suspected Andrew, I actually worried about you. Part of me wanted to reach out to make sure you were okay, but I wasn't sure what was real or what wasn't. Shannon said, all I know is that he has too much respect for you to do that. I don't know you well enough to spend that much time on it, and you need to do what's right for you. No, I completely understand. If I thought your partner was doing that, I'd probably want to reach out too. You don't have to be sorry. I understand. I completely get it. When I was going through shit, I once accused my sister of being behind it, so I understand. Then I said I thought it was maybe Andrew and Brandon for a time, especially because Brandon is so intense and that can be contagious. And then when I brought up Brandon, it was like she saw an out and pounced on it. Shannon said, I think it's Brandon. Last year, Brandon tried to get me fired because Andrew essentially chose me over him. Also, he tried to have an art YouTube, and it hasn't been going well. We all moved to location together, lived in cars together, and he essentially tried to drive Andrew and I
this
apart.
Is so
I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. I asked, where does Brandon live now? Shannon said, mainly because he's tried shit with me before and Andrew had to step in. I don't know. Somewhere in location still. But I don't talk to him or look at his shit. I had to block him because he started messaging my followers, telling them I was a cunt and shit. Sounds really familiar. Shannon continues. He directly tried to sabotage my channel a couple of times. Sounds really familiar.
You can call her a
could
bitch.
He possibly
it's fine.
Live in location? I know that's where you guys were originally headed. Shannon says, I think so, yeah. I don't know for sure, but it's a couple hours away. I said, his last name was spelled last name, right? Shannon said, yes. Oh, apparently he lives in location. I just asked Andrew. Neither of us has talked to him for a year or so. I said, okay, I'll give that information to the PI. Look, you don't know how badly I want to believe it's not you guys. I wanted to believe it was some random nut job. Shannon said, yeah, I completely understand. Completely. Do what you need to do. And as for Brandon, if he is or was behind it, we didn't know. Andrew wouldn't have let you near him, and I just didn't like being around Brandon in general. Shannon continues, you need to keep yourself safe and do what feels right. Getting a PI and protecting your family is exactly right. I have nothing but respect for that. No judgment, no bullshit. I understand. I've been through it. And had
I
she
want
not
to do
admitted to doing
violence.
it, I would be where you are now. So right there, she admits that Amy had admitted doing it. So if Amy really is me and I'm the one harassing her, then Shannon, you must have evidence of me admitting to stalking you somewhere, because right there you claimed that your stalker admitted it.
If you're asking yourself, Shannon, where are the emails? Where are they in this video? I want to see one of these emails. That brings me to another giant mistake that I kept making this entire time. Every email I got, every derogatory, deranged email about wanting me to die, I read once and I deleted it. At the time, I didn't realize how fucking stupid that was, and I didn't think what was happening was a crime or like important. I very much downplayed what was happening because it was happening to me. It wasn't illegal or fucked up because it was happening to me. I thought it was embarrassing, and I thought if people knew about it, it would be embarrassing for me. I'd be like a bitch on the internet who can't take a joke, and I didn't want people to know I had all these faults that were so alarmingly accurate being pointed out in email.
I said, yeah, but it's surprisingly a lot more complicated and expensive. Again, I ran out of money. Than they make it look on TV. So fucking expensive. But yeah, look, please tell Andrew I'm sorry as well. If I'm wrong, I'm a scared fucking idiot. Shannon said, no, you're not an idiot. This has been happening for years, so you're not dumb at all. I'm still paranoid to the point where I don't tell people online shit until it's 2 years old because I don't want them tracking me. I said, thank you for understanding. I wish you both literally nothing but good things and happiness.
That's good that they have
I truly
that.
do, from the bottom of my heart. That's all any of us could ever want. Shannon said, back at you. We have similar experiences. Way to cover your ass, Shannon, which is terrible, but it's at least some common ground. And back at you. You have a supportive husband, very cute baby, and a great career. You should be extremely proud of yourself. I'm oddly proud of you, and I don't even know you. If you ever need more info on either Andrew, Brandon, or I, either to clear my name or even if it makes us look worse, let me know. I said, yes, exactly. Lol. Thank you, Shannon. You both are wildly talented and intelligent people. And I'd ask for more information, but I worry about doing wrong to you unjustly. Like, I could just ask for your exact address and have Andrew served with papers, but I truly worry if I was wrong, I'd feel awful. I'll just let the PI and the police take care of it. This person, whoever it is, has been doing less in recent years, so I'm just hoping they stop altogether. It's motherhood that's made me distressed and paranoid more than anything. Okay, we were missing a few of the original screenshots at the end, so I
genuinely
went
feel
to my
kind of sick.
Instagram. Thankfully, Shannon did not delete her Instagram. She just deleted everything off of it. So I was
Physically.
still able to access the old DMs, and I took new screenshots. I have since gotten a new phone, so that's why the screenshots look a little different. Shannon discloses some personal information that I don't feel comfortable sharing with the public, and she says, I'm not uber public with that because I hate the idea of people pitting me, and I'm also super private with it. And then some other
Bumble
private
Kitty.
information that alluded to the previous private information, more private information. And then she asked, and sever with payers? What does that mean? And I said, no, I won't tell a soul, I promise. Then Shannon said, you're the only one who knows other than Annie. I don't know who
Barf,
that
barf,
is.
barf,
I said,
barf,
oh my bad,
barf,
papers.
barf,
When a
pausing,
restraining order
3,
is
2,
set,
1.
one is served with
Oh my God, this is something that people who are manipulating you do all the time. They will do things to make you feel sympathy for them. It's like, I'm so sick of hearing her do this to her. Like, if somebody is manipulating you, if somebody is lying to you, they will do anything that they can to like look like a sympathetic person. And they will try to act like they trust you. Like they're trauma bonding with you. Oh, hydrate? We can do that. We can hydrate really quick. All the ice melted, but this should still be fine. Sorry, I realized that was right under the microphone. It probably sounded really disgusting. Oh, and then it's time to stretch. Time to stretch, everybody. I'll just keep playing this. You guys know what I was fucking saying. Like, it's so gross. It's so gross. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
with papers, either at their place of work, home, a place they frequent, or in this case, where the IP is coming from. Shannon said, oh, okay, if I give you a P.O. box, would it be okay to serve them there? Or can we get something notarized that says something similar? That way you don't have to spend any money. You have a legal document stating we won't contact you, and if it ends up being not us, we can just let bygones be bygones. I don't know. I just realized that makes no sense. I said, actually, that would be great. Is the P.O. box in your name or Andrew's? This would probably help eliminate you guys, if anything. Shannon says, it's both of ours. My full name is Shannon, last name, if that also helps. I said, you don't understand how much I appreciate this. You really don't. Yes, the P.O. address would be great. She gives me her P.O. box. I said, like, I'm actually getting a little emotional because I've been so worried it's been you guys.
I love it.
Thank you so much. Man, she got me hook, line, and sinker. Actually, no, they didn't get me hook, line, and sinker. I 100% was still convinced it was them at this point. And this is something I've had to work on in therapy. I am a weak-willed person. If you are nice to me, I will fold like a house of cards. And I was also still considerably afraid of both of them at this point.
Emily.
So whenever they would show me like a sliver of humanity, I would just cling to it because I just wanted everything to be over. I just wanted to be left alone. So I would try to like play to their kind human side. Again, that tend and befriend response. Now, I know Shannon said with her alleged stalker that they became friends and like kept in touch over email or whatever. I would never, ever, ever go that far unless I desperately had to protect myself. But I just mostly wanted them to leave me the fuck alone, and I was prepared to do anything to get that. Shannon said, no, I understand completely. I really am happy to help, even if that means following a restraining order or a notarized letter. Regardless, I know how important it is to feel safe, and you deserve that much. I said, I might be able to just hire an attorney that can write up a document so no one has to deal with police dealings, but I'll have to look into it. I'll talk to the PI next week. The P.O. box may just totally clear you right off the bat. Thank you again so much. From woman to woman, thank you for being kind.
Ugh.
Truly. I hope you have a life filled with nothing but success. Andrew as well. You both have a great night. Shannon said, Brandon also used to be on the P.O. box. That might be important. But no problem. It's not hard to be kind.
Oh, good night, Dee
especially
Dee.
in this situation.
Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out.
It's really hard for you to be truly kind, Shannon. It's hard enough going through what you went through, and we're both more than happy and willing to sign something that says we will not contact you again in any form ever again. And back at you, I'm happy this helps, and happy this made you feel at least a little bit better. It was never my intention to make you feel any which way, but I understand where you're coming from and why you did. Never feel like you have to apologize for that. And I said, thank you so much. Good night. So
I
after this
hate her.
conversation, I had a long, hard think about what I wanted to do next. Did I want to take the information that I had gathered, which was just basically a P.O. box, and that was it? Who's to even say that the P.O. box really belonged to them? And should I take this information and then money that I could be using to have fun with my kids or buy them necessities and use it to pay attorney's fees so we can write up like an informal restraining order? Or I could use the money to pay an even more expensive service and hire a PI to literally physically track down Andrew and Shannon so that I can get in touch with their local police department to serve them with a restraining order. I just said, you know what? I just don't think it's worth it. So I decided to lay low for a little bit, and then I started posting again. And every once in a while, I would get like a comment that was worded a little suspiciously, but nothing too malicious. You know, I got the regular, unrelated troll comments and things like that I knew weren't them. And that was it. After that conversation with Shannon, I never received another threat or taunt again. And that, to me, just further solidified in my mind that my stalker was Shannon and Andrew. Now, I need to back up a little bit. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but keep in mind I am, doing all of this off of screenshots, and sometimes the date the screenshot was taken was not the same date that the message was sent. I am kind of hastily putting this together, but I promise this information is very important. This incident happened somewhere between the Rewired Soul incident and Shannon posting on LolCal about me almost killing Beanie. On July 19th, 2018, 4 months before I confronted Shannon, I received a Twitter DM from someone named Britta Filter. Hi, Future Emily here again. What's really interesting is I got a Twitter DM yesterday, June 10th, 2021 at 7:08 p.m. And this Twitter account that's been around since 2017, whose screen name is also Britta Filter, and the message reads, "Hey Emily, I was looking through Shannon's LolCal post again and realized that she posted a deleted video of yours saying that a channel was reposting them. I was wondering if you had seen this channel, name of the copycat channel, and if it's yours or something malicious. Sorry if this is old information or not relevant, just thought I'd mention it. Take care." What's really interesting and is something to think about is this account has been used since the day it was created. Now, I'm not going to post receipts of any of this because I don't want to lead a sheep to slaughter, especially
3,
everybody
2,
listening.
1. Calling all this drama is insulting. Don't call it YouTube drama when it's been proven what Shannon has done can be counted as crimes and felonies that should not go prison, at least. I have been taking this with exactly the amount of seriousness it deserves. I don't know why you're upset with me. It absolutely is YouTube drama, but like it is more than that. And I haven't said anything to the contrary. I'm sorry I've upset you. This is, we usually, no, that was to the comments in the line above. Gotcha. Okay. The line above. I can't scroll up using this software that I use. Like my computer just, it doesn't work. Like, can I show you? I wonder if I can show you. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I misunderstood and I apologize. 3, 2, 1.
This may not be Shannon. This is all speculation. I do not know the age or location of this person. I did my absolute best to censor things. Obviously, it seems that Shannon likes to have a lot of sock puppet accounts, and I had always wondered if she had some dedicated sock puppet accounts that she actually used. But not only that, I quote unquote hear her voice and Anthony's sense of humor, which I guess by extension is also her sense of humor, all up and down this Twitter account. What's really suspicious to me is that the YouTube account referenced is an account that I believe Shannon and Anthony were using to archive my videos. And I have received many comments in the past trying to get me to notice this channel. They're just a bunch of videos with random gameplay footage or sometimes just a still image with my audio playing over top. But since I've been on this platform for 6 years, I have occasionally had the problematic
Yeah,
tape.
Henry, it can
So I
be.
believe that Shannon and Anthony wanted me to be bothered, like shaking in my boots, like, oh my gosh, what if people find these videos and cancel me? Like, for one, I have never been afraid to admit when I'm wrong. My viewers can tell you that. That is a credible piece of evidence that you can look back in my history and see. And two, I'm not going to let Shannon and Anthony hold those things over my head anymore. Nothing
Good
I have
on
ever
you.
done would warrant that level of stalking and harassment. I'm a big girl, Shannon. I don't want to play with you in the sandbox. Besides, cat shit in there anyway. If you want to post my old crack cocaine addled Twitter ramblings, then you go right on ahead. If you want to
I did
repost
way
some
too many
videos
of
I
these,
posted
I
4
think.
years ago where I said some pretty toxic, self-absorbed shit,
Oh,
you
I
go
didn't.
right on
Never mind.
ahead. If you want to post naked pictures of me that you think are so cringy, especially because, you know, I was 15, you go right on ahead. But keep in mind, if
Pausing.
you do
3,
that last one,
2,
I won't be
1.
the only one having
Southeast of my equator. What is your dog's name? And are they a boy or a girl? I have 3 caddos, Lyle, Butterfly, and Charlie. Okay. Lyle, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. I love you so much. Who's a good kidder? Butterfly, who's a pretty kitty. You're such a good kitty. Charlie, that's the prettiest kitty I ever saw. I love you, Charlie. There, I like your dog. 3, 2, 1.
having to deal with the consequences. You and Anthony have held this over my head for years and years and years. I am
also
not
have 2
affected
male and
by
1
it anymore. I
female.
have made my peace with it. So if you want to post it, you go right on ahead. But let me just say, I won't be the only one with egg on my face. Anyway, back
Hell
to
yeah.
the original
Ugh,
Brady filter
I'm
message I had received back in 2018. And if you
pausing.
recall, at the
3,
beginning of
2,
the conversation
1.
I had with
I'm sorry. I'm just very excited to see how this all shakes out. I am really excited to see the way this all shakes out. We're not going to be able to until Thursday. As soon as this video's over, we have to end the stream for tonight. I don't know how I'm going to go on without watching these. Anyway, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, chat. You guys are welcome to go forth and watch more on this in between now and Thursday, but just know that this is what we're doing on Thursday. So, okay, unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
Shannon, she did mention this account. She said this account specifically had sent her some dirt on
Be
me.
strong,
but
Gatsby.
she had
I will,
tried to
I
report
promise.
It, but then when she went back, they
I'm
had
actually
deleted their
really
account.
good at
well,
holding off
apparently
on stuff.
not.
I did it
also,
all
she
weekend.
tried to paint this account as being malicious towards me, but you'll see. Brita Filter says, "Hi, Emily. You don't know me, but unfortunately, I know you. I want to explain this as clearly as possible, but it's very difficult for me to get my words out right now with everything I have found and what's going on around me. I don't expect you to reply. I just want you to know what happened because in a weird way, it does affect you. My brother has been a quote-unquote fan of you for a while now. He has apparently watched all of your videos and has them saved on his computer. There are some of you where you're singing and it's fairly grainy.
The
all the
I'm
way
a
up to some that I
stranger
see
and
you are
my
currently
brother
posting on
has done
YouTube.
all this.
He has pages and pages of screenshots.
What a Houdini.
Information on you and things that I don't think any person should have on someone. Essentially, if you put it out on the internet, he has it. I also found screenshots of when he has harassed you.
Is this
He made
actually
accounts
Shannon?
on YouTube years ago
Yes.
pretending to be a girl named Ava.
This is
the
Shannon
teenage
and
agent
or
whatever,
Anthony.
And bothered you then. I believe he has a list of your past employees, one being an optical
100%.
shop, and though I am not sure, I believe he might have sent them things about you. He made various Twitters and sent you messages about other people and things that have nothing to do with you. He even started reaching out to various people, followers of you on YouTube and Instagram with quote-unquote proof that you buy subscribers. I know via screenshots that he sent these with little notes on them. If I had known about this sooner, I would have stopped it sooner, but unfortunately, our family has some communication problems. In this modern age, it's hard to find a reason to check someone else's computer for anything, but I think my parents should have been more attentive with that. I was using his computer for schoolwork and found everything. Even videos of you in a bathtub, which I thought as inappropriate, and I truly don't understand how he got those. I took the laptop and showed the information to my family, and we have all decided it is in his best interest to go to a mental health facility and be cut off from this. I don't know what else I can say, but I am sorry. He was and is a kid, and is currently only 15. I don't know when you started posting or what he first saw of you, but for some reason you became his fixation. He is going to be receiving help and counseling, and we are going to be spending thousands of dollars to figure this out. I refuse to let this happen to any other woman.
Who
I am
would
sorry
say
for doing
that?
this anonymously, but because my brother
Why
is a
does she
child, my parents
care?
have told me not to speak out about this with anyone else outside of family. I know that must be inherently frustrating for you, but it's important to me that you at least know that this problem was seen and will be taken.
Shannon, nan. Shannon. Why would she care that your family is spending thousands of dollars to deal with this? Also, ugh. I just... 3, 2, 1.
Taken care of. If there is anything else you want to know, please don't hesitate to ask. I only made this account to let you know what is going on because I felt that it was close to criminal for you to not know about something that so dearly affects you. I know when I was being harassed online at the age of 13, my trust in people went down because I couldn't know who did it. I want to tell you it was my brother, a boy you don't know, who at a very young age found you online and became obsessed.
Yes, Bumble
There
Kitty,
is
you're
no other way to say it.
100%.
He became obsessed. I hope that eases your mind and your heart, and I hope you have a beautiful life again. If you need anything else, let me know. I said, would you be able to do me a favor? So
I really feel like I might throw up. Like, I'm not kidding. I genuinely feel fucking sick from this.
Because all this
oh my God, why is this
seems
message still going?
suspicious
I
to me.
feel like that
It's
every
exactly
time
what's happening
Shannon
to me,
talks.
to a T. Obviously with a huge handful of things missing and some things that I didn't even know that they had on me. And I find it very strange that all this information would be in one place, especially some of the more personal things, like him getting me fired from my job. Unless he specifically wrote that down somewhere, which would also be strange, I just find it unusual. Also, this has been happening for 5 years. I just find all this hard to believe that a 10-year-old would do what quote-unquote he did back then. I find it all hard to believe, especially because I know it's you, Andrew, and I don't think you can fulfill my video chat request. And I've already decided I'm not going to take this anymore. I can't be held down by my past mistakes. I've worked hard to improve myself as a person and on my mental health. I needed to be a better person. I am a better person because of my mistakes. You can't hurt me anymore.
Fuck yeah, you are,
Britta
Emily.
Filter says, if you don't believe me, that is okay because of what has happened and the legality of it all. My parents are not comfortable with that, but I understand your issues. I hope you find peace, and I am glad you've moved beyond this. Personally, I am sorry that this has happened to you.
Oh my
and
God.
I wish you nothing but the
3,
greatest
2,
success.
1.
As
This is Shannon. This is the Shannonist. I've never seen anything shannier. I really want to puke. Like, on her. I'm unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
for how we know he got you fired and information of the like, he has a video of you crying where you state someone got you fired and text documents of him taking credit for it. Though I doubt I will be able to convince
person
you
would
that
not
this is
be
legitimate.
answering
I
more
do hope that you
questions.
find
They would
peace
just
with
be
this.
like, okay,
And I
this is the
understand
thing.
that
I'm
trust
going to
is
go
not
now.
here.
Bye.
If I
And
could
block
Skype with you
you.
without risk, I would. But according to my parents, that is a risk they don't want me taking. Meanwhile, I hope you know these were not your mistakes. These were my brother's.
Barf,
and he will
barf,
be paying
barf.
for them. You didn't and do not deserve to pay for my brother's misgivings. This will most likely be my last time using this account. I do appreciate your time, and I hope from the bottom of my heart and soul that you continue to do well. I pray you are able to forgive those in your life, and I know you will continue to thrive. Thank you for at least listening to what I've had to say and letting me know that words have gotten to you. God bless. What a ripe crock of shit. First of all, this is a pattern, right? Now that I've gone back and actually looked at some of the stuff people have compiled about Shannon, it's this is certainly a pattern. She gets called out and she goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And she either adamantly denies the allegation or she does this softball apology. And then she's like, okay, I know you guys want more proof. And I'm totally going to get you guys that. But here's an obstacle as to why the proof either is vague or I can't disclose it. But then she kind of doubles back and she's like, but I do have legit proof, y'all. It's just going to there's an obstacle in the way, but I have that legit proof. Just you wait and see, to kind of, pacify the angry mob. And then enough of her fans pop up to defend her that it kind of drowns out the angry mob. So just the casual passive viewer is like, oh, okay. So Creepshow Art's fine, right? She's not problematic, right? And then nothing ever comes of anything. There's no real accountability. There's no justice. There's nothing. And whether it be one of her actual Creepshow Art accounts or one of her sock
No,
puppet
that brother
accounts,
does not exist.
She repeats this
Awesome.
behavior when she gets called
pausing,
out.
3,
She
2,
does
1.
this dance, maybe
She was pretending to be a random person. She was pretending not to be herself. She was pretending to be some random person that had a brother that was obsessed with Emily. Some random viewer got obsessed with her and started stalking her and doing all this stuff. And then she posed as the older sister of this obsessed fan and messaged her. Even though, it's really obvious that was just Shannon around all over that fucking message. I've never seen anything Shannier. Ever.
maybe she mixes up the
I
steps
only
a little
learned
bit.
who she was this weekend.
And then nothing changes. Also,
I'm an
wasn't it really
expert now.
interesting that this Brita person just so happened to also have been stalked and harassed when they were 13, just like Shannon has claimed? I think that's really interesting. And I know a few of you may be like, hey, this Brita filter thing is basically just Shannon trying to quell the storm without, causing a big fuss. She's just trying to let you know that it's over and she's going to get her husband some help. That's not at all how I'm interpreting this. Now that I've seen all those lolcow posts and how she talks about other people and for how long she's been doing this, I am fully convinced that she has been on board this stalking and harassment train of me for so much longer than I had initially suspected. This Brita filter thing.
I feel bad now for people named Shannon.
To absolve
Pausing,
herself of
3,
guilt
2,
while
1.
still
I was racking my brain trying to think of somebody named Shannon that I've met that I like. Every Shannon I've ever met has totally sucked. I want to remember a Shannon that I like. I hope that there's a Shannon out there. If I remember a Shannon that I like, I will totally tell you guys about it. I'm going to go through my friends list and shit on Facebook. I never boot up my Facebook. I'm going to look on there. But literally, I have a cousin named Shannon. She's an anti-vaxxer. Okay, that's true. That's real. So is Shannon the new Karen? It should have been called a Shannon to begin with. Yeah, anybody that tells lots of lies is just Shannon around. I know 2 Shannons and they're both really, really cool. Okay, those Shannons are awesome. They're the outliers. So you have a cousin named Shannon for now. I don't know. Actually, my cousin Shannon might actually just be somebody else's little brother. I don't know. It could be the I don't know if all Shannons do this, so who knows? Outlier Shannons in the wild. She drove me around in the trunk of her car. That does not sound like she was really, really cool. Then I worked with a Shannon and she's really, really short and sweet. Okay, like I don't have anything to go on there, but she shouldn't be driving you around in the trunk of her car. Anyway, unpausing. 3, 2, 1.
Holding something over my head. Like, hey, I'd really like for this to end, but if you ever come out with anything, here is a list of all the things that we have on you. Some things you didn't even know we had on you. Do you want a video of you high on heroin and drunk in a bathtub flopping around and reviewing anime, butt fucking naked out into the public? We didn't think so. So let's all just forget about this. This never happened. Let's never talk about it again. What's funny, like I mentioned before, you can see I'm still not 100% convinced that Shannon was involved at the time I was responding to Brita Filter. I was totally convinced this was Andrew. After actually having the conversation with Shannon and seeing all her lolcow posts and seeing her patterns and her behaviors, I am convinced that yes, Andrew started all of this. He stoked the fire. He was the one, the man obsessed. But then he roped Shannon in, and boy, oh boy, did she become the ringleader ultra fast. Now, obviously, I face a moral dilemma here with the IP addresses. You can see that earlier on in the video, I did blur out some sensitive information because regardless of how Shannon treated me, the information she gave me was sensitive at the time, may still be sensitive, and I told her that I wouldn't share it, and I'm not going to. And it's not really even that relevant. It was just her, I think, trying to get some sympathy from me.
Good guys don't harass bad guys.
It's not relevant at all. I do realize that the IP addresses are relevant, however. I can't, in my right conscience, share those IP addresses. It's against my moral code, and my morals mean a lot to me. I just don't believe in doxing someone publicly like that. Now, obviously, if I had to get the police involved, that would be a different story. I can, however, give you some other pretty solid proof. So here is the blurred out screenshot of the information, the IP address,
voluntarily
and everything else.
I wanted to.
And, if we go over here to get info,
can you please show me how to make a crochet penis? I think
that
I could get banned for that, actually.
October 24th, 2018 at 7:31 p.m. We can also see that I took these Lily Singh screenshots on October 24th, 2018 at 4:34 p.m. and 4:35 p.m. And here we can obviously see that the video that Lily Singh was commenting on, my problem with a big YouTuber, was posted on October 24th, 2018. And as you can see here, 2 days later on October 26, 2018, that is when Creepshow Art mentioned me in her Instagram story, and later that evening is when I decided to confront her with the proof. The other IP that I was referring to, the one where I was just like totally oblivious that it was Andrew, I was like, I don't know, it's such a big city, who could it be? I have this email draft from 2013 where it's basically me begging the staff at Facebook to try to help me gain access back to this account. I'm letting them know that I'm being harassed, and this stalker had hacked into this account. I think they phished me. I think that's really what happened. I even say here that the police turned me away because he hadn't threatened my life yet. I even say down here at the bottom, I am on the verge of suicide because the harassment has become 24/7. Then I include back the IP and the information that the automated Facebook message
southeast
had
of my
sent to
equator.
Me.
I love
What's
you
even
so much,
wilder
but I
that
do not
didn't
have
even notice
the time
until
to do
just
more
now as I'm
crochet
narrating over
streams
the
outside of the
screenshot,
crochet
is 2
streams
emails
that I do
above,
on Twitch.
We see an email
I'm
that
so
says
sorry.
Isla's Universe. And you know who/what is Isla? That is Andrew's old band name. So we open this email and I say, so what I'm planning to do is digitally draw in a vision of never-ending space where he's looking out onto. I'm thinking of having a meteor shower on the top left outside of the door frame. Homage to your old band name, winky face. He's had many band names. And then maybe a small satellite? I'm not sure, but it's the idea of him taking the plunge from absolute nothingness, the white hallway he's standing in, to absolute nothingness. Complete voids, but whereas one is oppressing and colorless, the other half is celestial and constant. I don't know. What do you think? We can go over more after Tuesday. Let
She's
me know.
so
Cute little
creative.
heart at the end. This was 2 months after I almost wrote an email to Facebook staff saying I wanted to kill myself because the harassment was too much to bear and I really would like access to my old Facebook account, please. So if everything I just included was not enough proof for you, I don't know what to tell you, and I think you should move along. Now, I realize the number one thing that I can't prove here is how much involvement Shannon had in orchestrating the harassment. It is my personal belief that Shannon kind of had like this little sidekick role at the beginning. I feel like at the beginning it was kind of like an inside joke. I'm sure in Andrew's head it was more than an inside joke, but eventually Shannon just got too roped into it and it became an obsession for both of them, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control. I think when we see it really spin out of control, not to like minimize like the torment I had gone beforehand, but I'm just talking on like a greater scale. I think we really saw it get out of control when Shannon entered the YouTube space and started gaining some popularity. I do think she saw the success of my sketchbook story times. I wasn't doing that many because my sketchbook story times are not fake. I don't have an unlimited amount of fucking stories. So she saw a market there and she just was making tons and tons of them, pumping them out. It got her channel really popular. So then she started doing drama and commentary. That also gained her a lot of views and subscribers. And I think just the power went to her head. And I think she believed that she would never get caught for harassing me for so long. So she decided to start exerting that control in other places. In just a few of the videos that I've watched of her, she has mentioned having strict parents multiple times.
I can't wait to
so
see
I think
who,
probably
like,
growing up, she didn't
what
have
else
a lot
is
of
going
control.
on with this.
And this was one place that she could have just complete and utter control over something. Now, I'm not saying this makes any of what she has done okay. I'm just saying I was in a place very similar to her. I felt very out of control of my mind and my body, and a way to take it back was to kind of be a catty bitch. And even though my catty bitchiness
4 more
was more on the
videos,
level
at
of
least.
delisted.com and less on the level of lolcow.com, I still had a lesson to learn, and I still had a lot to change about myself. And I will never stop reminding you guys of that. And even though it's sweet, I'm not a big fan of people being like, oh my gosh, you're so wholesome or non-problematic queen. I want to say no. Your faves are problematic, and so are
Definitely.
you. And
Yes.
in a way, that's a good thing depending on how you handle it. When you are confronted with the fact that you are making a problematic decision or a statement, you need to face it, and you need to take accountability, and you need to use that mistake to move on and do better.
Yes.
You cannot run from it.
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
it will catch up to you, whether that be from public retribution or from your own stunted growth. It will catch up to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm running on fucking empty. Don't forget to stay out of trouble. See you guys later.
All right. That was a fucking doozy. This is one of the videos in our lineup. I'm just going to pause it. We're not going to have time to do this today. We're going to have to call the stream here. It's getting really late. But on Thursday, I will try to start earlier so that we can get through more of this and we don't have to wait as long, because Shannon's video is what we're going to watch next. Her response to that video, we're going to watch that on Thursday. That's the first one that we're going to watch. And it is also, I think, 2 hours long. So we will see. We will see how much we can get through. I love you guys. Hang tight. We're going to try to find somebody to raid here. Don't go anywhere. I would appreciate it a whole lot if you guys could all say something in chat right now so that we have a big, fat, thick, girthy raid to drop onto somebody. I would appreciate that a whole lot. All right. I love you guys. I will see you on tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. We're just not doing this tomorrow. Okay, bye.